in positive territory, at least for the moment here on the NQ. Big move down at the moment. We were popping up on the back of the 5-year auction that came in at 1 o'clock. It was met with good demand, and the NASDAQ was trading, at least, moments ago, near the highs at that 17,125, coming back down now below 17,1. So we'll have the big kahunas look at that. But yeah, we'll have a look at Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin is up 2.5% in the yields, the 10-year and the 2-year, both to the downside as equity markets find higher ground. All right, let's get to the first item on the watch list. Tesla up again nicely, over 2% on the back of news that the revamped Model Y will be coming out of China soon. We saw pictures and videos about that. We showed you that on the midday show. Is up over 2%. Doing that dance at 262, guys. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. That was, I mean, the timing of that move in the futures right now was wild. Anyone that was just watching the markets, you saw that. Like, we were kind of holding consolidation at the top, and then we flipped over until the afternoon show, and it's like someone flipped a switch, and consolidation was broken to the downside. So just a couple things. Like, I'm in 2 shorts, but got a quick bounce in Apple, which I quickly took some out of because that was a wild move back into the downside. We can get to Tesla this morning. What's weird about Tesla is it didn't participate this afternoon in the ramp that you had to the upside. It ends up just basically holding the channel. So Tesla, this is the channel that it's been in. The daily chart even shows you the nice consolidation above the channel I've been watching, which is the lower highs on the daily. It finally broke the 260 level, so been looking for that break for a while. Should have easily also, I mean, you could have easily had 258 as well, but 260 was the jam for me. Because of that $2 range, my target was just to, when it got to 262, make sure we take it out and take the profit. So it was 1 in, a couple of outs. It's weird to me that when the market retook the high, it's weird to me that Tesla never broke 263. You would have thought that would be a given, but it's also not really falling with the market as well as the market just pull back in. So Tesla's range is good. It's holding the bull flag. If the market makes a bounce off the bottom, maybe Tesla 261 can come into play. But I can't believe we're right back down at the lows. Like, that's absolutely hilarious. I'm only in Nikola and Affirm to the short side. And I'll tell you, about 5 minutes ago, I was thinking that those were going to at some point take out the top.
Yeah, that's it's a funny day here right now.
Hilarious.
We're just doing sort of the same thing that we've been doing all day here. Look at Snapchat. We just reshorted that one. We talked about, someone asked it in the midday show. Thank you for asking what I was doing. I mean, here's short Snapchat, here's short Snapchat, here's short Snapchat. Again, we just came back into VWAP, so we'll watch out for that one. We've been shorting Palantir as well. There's a short in Palantir. There's another short we just took right now on Palantir as well to the downside. And then we've been long in Apple. We were short Apple ahead of VWAP, and then we got that news right around 11:30, 11:45, and then all of a sudden off to the races. And of course, as per usual, we are very, very light now. We're about 20% or so. Still want to hold Apple, see if we can get a little bit longer here in this name, as we have really dipped down now in the NASDAQ. We'll have to find an area maybe to buy some more in Apple. But yes, sir, Snapchat printing a dime piece right now, Palantir printing as well. And then we had Tesla earlier, and Tesla is the #1 stock on the show, going long at 260 right there, all the way up to the upside. It was an absolute monster trade. We just should have reshorted it. Let's see what happens now. Tesla's still super strong. It's the #1 name wherever it is here on the sticky note for long 260. So I hope y'all have that one. That was a good one. And again, kind of gave you a chance to reload it right there. But we're always waiting for this 200 period. The problem is now we're underneath it. So let's wait to see if the NASDAQ has legs. Great. And that's good for us, as we are long the biggest and the baddest name, I think, now in the market with Apple. I just feel like this one has, obviously, unless we hear something about the ban, sort of, apparently it was like overturned there. So, we're going to wait. But that's, they still got it, like, oopsies. Like Sharif mentioned there, they're going to take a minute to figure this all out. So I don't know if this means they can immediately start to sell the watches again or what. But for right now, the NASDAQ just heads right back down to the bottom. We've got some pretty good shorts on, as well as this Apple long from days. So Apple, nice trade. We'll see where it can go from here, though.
That we're looking at here. Apple wins bid to pause Apple Watch ban at U.S. Appeals Court. Earlier in the day, we had reported to you that Apple was asking the Federal Circuit to pause the ban at least until the U.S. Customs and Border Protection decides whether the redesigned versions of its watches actually infringe on Massimo's patents, and to put the ban on hold while the court considers Apple's request. The Customs Office was slated to make that decision on January 12th, so this postpones all the bans until at least January 12th, when that decision will be made. We'll see what happens at that time. It should be noted, though, guys, Apple's wearables, home devices, and accessory business, which they group together, includes Apple Watch, AirPods, etc. They account for $8.28 billion in revenue in the last quarter, guys. Here, Apple at 193. What's a look?
It's not necessarily rocket science. It had made a double bottom when that news came out on Apple. It was a double bottom at 191. The second the news hit, this is the volume spike at 1125 or 26 or something like that. The first available consolidation, I went long on the 60 level right into VWAP. It then consolidated higher. The morning range got the long off 192. Held that into 193. I had a quick scalp trade on that backside, but I don't like the fact that I didn't wait for a consolidation there. So sometimes you catch a falling knife where you're looking for a consolidation. It's better to actually get a consolidation. Was shorted this morning when it was relatively weak. That was a different story. Like Apple and Rivian thought were at the open two good shorts, and it was a good short to the downside for Apple. Now it's a different story because you have this pause. It's been trend up. This is the first time that it's made since that fail of 200 bucks. It's the first time it's actually made it back off of those lows. So it's a good look for Apple. I'd like to see some continuation. It's starting to hold the 193. But from short, you've got to be able to reverse it. The news hit, immediately looking for longs after that. And maybe the market can get back to the highs. If it does, I see no way Apple wouldn't take out the tops. It's not the only name that could do that.
Guys, we just did this again, so we're still here, reloaded. Right now on Apple, so we just reloaded it at the bottom there. So let's hope it's the bottom. Right there, look at that. Falls right in, man. We buy the 90, we bought 97s, I believe, and then 96s. I don't know what it was. And then we're just getting a little bit out right now. We still do have a good position on this one. I still think now it's, there's a reason why the market's sort of ripped up right there. Great news there from Apple, and we know what kind of a percentage Apple is right now. 51% of Berkshire, 7 or 8% of the S&P, 14% of the NASDAQ. And all those could be a little bit off, but it's such a big name that if this continues to go to the upside, we're not surprised me the rest of the day. So, the reason why it was down, we talked about this earlier on in the day. This is why it's just too bad that I didn't flip over. Like, this is me going short because of the weakness in Apple, right against that 191.70. But, that was the problem. We took the L right there, but then since then, we just flipped it up. I was waiting for 193 to break. My first ins were 192.90 right there. Felt like it was going to go in. Then we averaged it back in at the 50 period and then just ripped it all the way to the top side. So again, not knowing where it's stopping, taking a lot of shares, we just average it out all the way up. And it's going to be, once again, hopefully a good one. And then Snapchat, by the way, on that, let's go one more time. Yes, sir. We held it all the way down below VWAP, and now we are out of Snapchat for another victory there. It's going to be number one stock today is going to be Tesla, then Snapchat, and NIO is pretty good as well. So we'll talk about NIO, I think. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. Let's talk about crypto, another trade that, unfortunately, Coinbase at 180 is going to haunt me for a little bit. We'll look at that in a minute.
33,000, guys. That's where we are above on Bitcoin right now. 2,300 above that level on Ethereum. Ethereum up big on the day, about 6%, rivaling Bitcoin's 2 1/3. We've been talking a lot about this. The discussions that are happening between a lot of these ETF applicants and the SEC, they're getting down to the nitty-gritty. They're discussing technical details, whereas before the conversations were outright no's and no thank you. So experts are now positing that the approval could be imminent. You've had the equity names pump up too for crypto. Coinbase up almost 7%, and Mara taking that $30 level now up 13%. Guys, what's the look here?
These stocks have been rocket ships for a few days in a row now. Like yesterday was a consolidation day, if you want to call it that, for Mara. There was still $1.50 move off the bottom for Mara, which on a consolidation day is pretty darn good. It still gave you 5-6% if you took it. Today was more of just a breakout. Was looking dip buy on Mara. Anyone that knows, if you're watching the morning show, when we go over sort of the game plan, it was dip in, for me, it was dip into any previous resistance level or key level, 27.70, 27 even. The close price yesterday was 27 even. So I was looking for that. And when it started to go, I traded 29s, I traded 30 a couple times, and paper hand. I mean, you'd still be in it if you don't paper hands because it's at 30.5. So I just think you do what we look for in the afternoon on Mara lately, which is take the stairs to the upside. Buy any dip that's reasonable. I think a play back into 30 can make some sense in here on the 15-minute when the market just pulled back. It just bounced off 30.15, so it's reasonable to expect that that could be a bit of a level. There seems to be no stopping the unwind in this. Every time you think it's gone parabolic and it's too far, Mara just keeps on going. There is a level approaching on the daily, however, for this name. It's up and around $32. Whoops, that went too far. Right about 32.5 bucks is a pretty significant level for Mara on the daily. So I suppose if it gets there, maybe there's a short, but you've been wrong if you've been trying to short this name for the last, I don't know, month, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for sure. Apple's trying to come down a little bit right now. I just want to show everybody again, make sure you join for the recap show as traders will stay late tonight again. All right, so that's going to be at 4 o'clock. Look, I just want to show everybody and just discuss what the story was. I wrote this at 8 o'clock, obviously, and when the, or even earlier, when, where was it, coin was at 176. So we wrote down in here 180 long. Look for a top break. We talked about it here. Key level on the daily. These trades have been great, so it should continue as crypto space is still hot, right? Looking at 43,000. Look at Mara as well, approaching 30 bucks. So we wrote all this stuff down. You can find it, at Trader TV Sean there on X. But if you're looking at, first of all, let's go to the downside for Palantir. All right, so there's Coinbase. And there's the 180 break. And then when that happened, it shot straight up to 186. You had a little bit of a dip down in there. But if you took that 180, you got $3 if you just closed your eyes. And sort of even if you fumbled your trade, I think you would have got $3 or $4. And then right there, a nice move back up again to 186.31. Now you're bouncing off VWAP. So I still like this trade. I think it's going to be pretty tight down there. All right, just quickly, here comes Apple right down into 85, 86 again. We just got filled. So I'm going to take a little bit out as we continue to go to the upside here, as I have a lot of shares one more time on this name. So here we go. We'll just start to scalp a little bit out, and hopefully we will be able to do that as, again, just getting out of some of these. We just got an 82 fill or something like that. Yes, we did. So we got a nice little 82 fill on the downside here. So watch out. If this breaks 192.75, I'm going to be out of Apple. Like, I feel like we've done a lot of damage here in and around 193. I don't mean damage like P&L wise. I just mean that it's traded around here for a while. And I just thought it would have gone up a little bit more than where we'd be going right now. Right back into pre-market levels, really struggling here at 193. I mean, sure, it got going. We have a good fill. We have a 50 fill, right? But that coincides with yesterday's top as well. So that could have been emptied out everything up there, and we didn't. Well, we did. We did. This is a reloaded position, obviously.
Before we get back, we should talk about the futures.
Yeah, go nuts, man.
No, just quickly, because the futures are pretty much at the same bottom. Like the NASDAQ just teetering on trying to hold green. This was morning support down here at 1706. And it's also the level where things fell off last week when you had that 2 o'clock flush. It was off of this level as well. So if the market can bounce here, strong stocks dip by. I have a trailing stop on a firm. My short, Nicola, who cares? It's a penny stock, so I don't think it cares about the market. But if you have long, if this support goes, I think you're in a world of hurt. Well, the market could be in a world of hurt. That was a big reversal. It looked like we're breaking out the top, and we're just going to continue gliding to the upside 15 minutes ago. And that reversal, I want to give it some respect. I am looking at AMD as a dip buy opportunity because it's held 145 and is bouncing really nicely here. But let's get back to the desk. Meta. I don't think, do we trade some Meta today?
For a reason for the sell-off, not able to see one yet, but yeah, from one Meg 7 name to another Meta, getting a nice little comment from Wedbush analyst Scott Devitt today. He's maintaining the outperform rating on Meta and increasing the price target from a cool $350 to $420. That had Meta moving up well over 1% today, but rejecting that $359 area, guys, and with the overall market coming back down now, sub 357. Is there a trade to be had here?
If the market breaks the lows, Meta might be a short. It might be a short here. I know it got a price target increase. This wasn't necessarily. I don't think it wasn't really a trade for me. I would have loved it if it could have been breaking 360, but it just did not get going off that double top. If anything, I guess if you had a short bias, the 359 short was good. You're back underneath that 357 resistance level. So it feels like a short off of that level if the markets break the low of the day. So there wasn't a trade today because I didn't think it set up better than the other things we were looking at. It felt like it made a lot more sense to be looking at the crypto names. I like SoFi much better to the long side. But that's going to be it. You have to prioritize. If you had taken a breakout on Meta right at the open, you would have made $3. That's not bad. You get a full point on that move, and that's going to be okay. I just like the other names. And if we break the low of the day, I'll be looking for shorts underneath 357 on Meta. But I don't want to be shorting as the market's at that support. It's a little bit dangerous because all we've done is go back and forth, high to low multiple times. You don't want to get caught shorting the bottom and the market bounces back to the top.
No, we're I'm trying to get long NVIDIA 493 right now. Almost could have got it. Came down to 493.20, but I'm like slippery slope here with Apple. Like I've just gotten some out. Like I got some more out there at 85. We're getting lighter and lighter. If this breaks 75 down to the downside, then we want to get out of Apple. And I have the order triggered, so as long as that happens, good. We do again. We do have a little bit of a position here. We've talked about that, which is why I just scalped it out when we went up to 87, 88 there, because I'm not trusting. I'm long at 83 too, because remember, we've averaged in. The Apple has not been pretty the last little bit, and how could it be when the market is doing this? I just explained the weightings on Apple, and it's not going to work out, right, if this continues to do that. So we'll wait for it. We still are, of course, short Palantir, and then our Snapchat. We emptied it all out when it came into some of these levels. I don't know, 78 the bottom. We'll take an 82 fill or whatever that was. For now and hope this works out. Meta, okay, I like Meta. I also like, I like a lot of names here today. I've traded probably too many of them. But Meta, yeah, good look. Neil talked about it right off the open there. Just a monster move. I think that, the fact that it double touched 359, probably a pretty decent short. Whenever you get that second look, it's kind of like right now, like how many times are you breaking through this bottom, before eventually it breaks and you get this wick move all the way down to 356, basically flat. So as soon as you break like 357, it almost just kind of like flushes a dollar there. So let's see if it does have legs to come back upside. But if these futures don't continue to go and Apple kind of just sits around where it is, then I think Meta is probably a short, but we're under view up and under the 200. So for me, I'm not that interested until we get back into those levels. So I'm honestly, I'll probably, look, if you don't like the word Apple, or maybe you're not a fruit guy or whatever, I just feel that it's going to be difficult for you to watch me trade, because I'll probably be I am really focused right now on Apple. Will be in other names. The Palantir, I'm just bleeding out of it as on a good sign. We just got 49s. Oh, I was waiting at 48. I guess I didn't get those. No, sorry, I was waiting at 46s. We'll look at more names, but even a firm starting to get going. Okay, come on, Apple. I do have another offer upside here at 89s, so maybe we can get going just a little bit, and then we'll stop, right? And then we'll have an out at O's, and then we'll say, okay, Apple, see how it's not, that 87, go. Break yourself, 88. I'm at 89s, that's why, break yourself. Okay, well, we're at 89, so if that fills, that fills. That's enough of that. Let's go back to the man that could break all of us. It is Iron Man himself.
Literally
Actually,
true, probably.
We had a discussion.
Literally.
We had a discussion when you weren't here about what superhero you would be if you had a choice. So what would yours be? Sharif's was Iron Man.
Oh, that's a tough one. Holy crap. I like Batman.
Yeah, I switched over to Bat. I was Superman. I went with, because
the thing about you know what?
The X-ray vision, pretty key. The strength, pretty key.
What I love about Batman is that he doesn't have any powers.
I know, and that's
what I love about Batman. He literally, like the dude is rolling with people who are essentially like gods.
And he's got like the sickest weapons.
And he defeated the entire Justice League. There's a comic book. He defeated Superman, like all of them, and the guy has no powers. He's just smart, resourceful, all that.
Think about who your enemies are, like a fat penguin, like a Joker that clearly has no idea, like. Basically gets himself always in trouble.
Then that's
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And then look at who Superman has to face. Like, oh goodness, every time like the world's completely in danger.
Right.
Like, Batman's just trying to save Gotham City.
Right. He's just trying to chill out in Gotham. Yeah.
You take out
Catwoman. Like if that was my biggest enemy, damn.
Well, Catwoman's not really that much of an enemy though to Batman.
I don't know.
I would look at that as a positive for Batman, not like the end. Like that's not an enemy.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be awesome.
I'm Batman now for sure because the more I think about it, we're talking about Batman. Like
Roger Rabbit, a good one.
Howard the Duck.
If you like redheads.
Technically a hero. Technically.
Rabbit.
Howard the Duck was a hero.
Huh? Yeah, Jessica Rabbit. Yeah. So it'd be Roger Rabbit. Come on. Okay. Sharif Iron Man, right?
100% Iron Man, Sean. But I gotta shout out my favorite villain in Batman, the Penguin, and specifically the one on the TV's Batman. That was played by Burgess Meredith, which was actually Rocky's trainer, Mickey, in the Rocky series. A lot of people don't know that. That was my favorite villain, and it was like the way he waddled too when he would. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. All right, next on the list, guys, T-Mobile US. Interesting little dynamic between them and SoftBank. You'll recall that Sprint was owned by SoftBank, and when Sprint and T-Mobile merged, and there was an agreement between SoftBank and T-Mobile that if a clause was triggered, T-Mobile would have to issue SoftBank about 48.75 million shares, totaling $7.59 billion. That's what happened yesterday. That increased SoftBank's stake in T-Mobile US from 3.75% to 7 2/3. T-Mobile getting a nice little bounce up today. Not one that we typically trade, but up 0.86 nonetheless.
Okay. Not going to tell a lie. Like T-Mobile looks great on the charts, but it's not a day trading stock. And I think we mentioned that this would be a tricky one, and it's a good upward move. If you took it, like how many times is this on the watch list? And if you had any one of the longs off the open, whether it's at 156 even, probably more likely taking out yesterday's high, you couldn't have actually lost on it. However, as I said, this is probably more of an investment than anything else. When I looked at this morning, I said, oh, this just gives me a reason to take Verizon if it can break off the bottom, which it didn't. So if that doesn't get through 39, I don't really see a trade or a swing trade on Verizon. So T-Mobile, not much of anything. I did just reload in SoFi. 1, the market bounced off the bottoms. 2, on SoFi, yada, yada. You guys know about $10 this morning. If you were here yesterday, then you know why $10. And it bounced at 10.25. It just made another bounce, so previous resistance level just wicked its support as the market goes back to those, back to the midway point. It just bounced off the lows. It said do not get trapped short at the low of the day. So I re-entered when it got back above 10.30. First consolidation available after a bounce. Be patient. If you're just sort of sitting on the bid, great. I like to join the buying and see if this can get back to the top. If it gets to 10.50, I think that's a bridge too far, because there was a ton of selling on that stock at that price previously. So I'm back into this one after a good trade this morning. Again, the trend is your friend to the end when it bends. If we get back to the highs, that will be a wild one. I guess it was a 1 o'clock auction that got us to the highs in the first place. In addition to Apple, market pull back in. If we get all the way to the top, I like AMD reclaiming the high of the day.
All right, let's go. We called this Apple move. Apple move is happening, so pretty happy with this one. We all had opportunities to buy Apple down there. A good little resistance area or support area. We bought it. Look, this is another thing. Remember we talked about going back and forth with risk to reward and all that stuff? Thank you so much, Sharif. The thing is like, when I went long here at 82, 83, I told you my risk was 7 cents, right? So now we're in the money 24 cents. So it's kind of like, it's going to be different trading, but it's profitable trading. And that's what we kind of go back and forth. It's like, you know, you could say like, this is your strategy, but if it's not making money, then you better revamp that strategy a little bit. I'm trying to make more money. I know this makes money. I'm just trying to hold a little bit more shares. Like right now, I still have half or so of this move down. So it's been pretty good. We're going to get some out against the 50-period MA right now. But man, it's good to be a gangster sometimes. All right. And on that note, let's go handle some business.
I have to do this with a straight face now. All right, brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on our desk and by many of our traders every day. See what's moving in the moment with Trade Ideas. Check out the link in the description for 25% off, guys.
All right. Thanks, Sharif. That was quick. Okay. We look at something else. What else you guys want to look at? All right. Take the printer out back and kick the crap out of it. Yeah, we could do that, James Dell. Yeah. I don't want to take out the money printer, though. We want to keep the printer going. And I actually had to just print something the other day. I haven't used a printer in a long time. We were starting to print gift certificates and things like that for each other. Like my kid wanted, and he got it, of course, he got a gift certificate for chess.com, the membership there. So we printed that off and gave that to him. But other than that, I don't really use printers too much. All of your tickets and everything, like nobody uses printers. We're going to Travis Scott on Friday. And you just get that, like everything's on your phone. Like you used to, or like, here we go now, let's go. Apple right now really blasting. You know, the thing that used to use up a lot, oh my God, we're feeling like Usher over here. Nice move to the upside, let's go. This is exactly what we're talking about. The chef is in the building right now. That's a nice one, man, 40 cents upside, as there we go again for Apple. And I just told you guys, it's really easy, you know, to enjoy this and it seems like you're having fun when you actually are. And I mean, when you're telling the truth, when you have the shares, when you're making money, you know, it makes everything easier. And so, you know, sometimes you can see it on our face, like, okay, you know, we're frustrated, you know, we made a trade this way or that way. We'll still discuss it all with you, but you know, it's really good when you can do this. You can put it up. You guys can see our entries. You can see our exits. We're talking about trades with you. It's a great time, and I want to thank everybody for joining. And if you haven't joined, maybe this will help.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Hard at work with the headphones on, as always. That's how it works around here. But I did get out of my last short. I said Nikola doesn't count. When I say Nikola doesn't count, I don't mean that stock doesn't matter, but it's not following the ebbs and flows of the futures. I'll get to that one at some point, but I did get out of a firm because this VWAP hold is pretty strong. It's hard to see, but let me just show you the upward trend. So there you go. Whoops. There you go. From the morning, there is the 11 o'clock top on Nikola. When it double topped, it just bounced off that same trend line. So once that happened, trail into here. Now this is on a firm, I mean. Now this is a stock where I have been out of this multiple times. Shorted 52 because it was a double top on the daily, and we shorted it back into 51. Took a VWAP trade, one that was bad, one that was good, and then one that was bad. So went 1 for 3 around VWAP shorting it, and then twice was short at the high of the day, some scalp out, and then out. And then the same scalp trade, and then hold until it gets down into VWAP. So that's going to be my style. But if it breaks this trend, there could be a short underneath here, maybe at the 51 level into the low of the day. That probably requires the futures to get back to the low. But this wasn't like a random, hey, we're going to get out because it breaks VWAP. There was a trend line on this 3-minute chart that got me out of it. AMD just took out the high of the day. I said this one has been relatively strong. So in that move back up in the futures, AMD pulled back all the way down to 145 from 145.70 and then right back into the top. I had the high of the day break right before we came back on here, well, 20 minutes before. It was kind of slowly churning through, got some out when it got about 10 cents in the money, and then 1-to-1 just got it back out in the downside. Could have maybe bounced off 145, but I like AMD up 1.5%. When the market's bouncing, it's moving. It's moved the last couple of days, but it's a real mover. I think it has a shot at 146 here, and if it takes out 146, I don't know. I have to zoom back on the daily chart, but I'm pretty sure I wrote down here like 150, 147 is a level, and then 150 to the upside on AMD. You got to go way back to find that 147 level, however, on the daily. And if I zoom this back, it's not going to work how I'd like it to. And then lastly, I am still in Nikola. We were mentioning this as it was going on the midday show. Didn't get to $1, shorted it once when it turned at 95. There's my stop out at the high of the day. It wicks the next cent higher, short back underneath 95 into VWAP. So kind of like a standard VWAP retracement play for Nikola. Not much to say about it unless it gets back to the high of the day, which if it does, maybe you see $1 break on Nikola.
Yeah, maybe you could do that. Okay, like I said, man, an apple a day will keep the traders away because today it's been a good day for Apple, especially if you were long or short. I mean, that's kind of the best part about it is, well, I wasn't good for me short. I went short there. And then literally this is like, so this spike happened and I was like, okay, it's a nice little spike there. Didn't really hear the story until in and around here. We broke through VWAP and then we got out immediately. It's just that should be a long, you know, that should just be the long. All the way to the upside. So that's kind of where we're really happy. And I'm happy that about 10 minutes ago, we discussed these bottom takes, you know, where we were and then where we are, you know, so like we discussed why we like the long and then 7 cents worth of risk to now make how much? 35 cents. So that's what we're talking about right there when sometimes we talk about, you know, ratios. But we're getting out of it all. So let's go. The Christmas list you require. What's up, Charlie Taff? Is my sticky note. Well, hey, man, it's every day. So that's all good. And you're talking probably about that Tesla trade. And the thing is, like when I'm off, I know you guys harass me to do sticky notes, but I feel like I got to be, you know, in the environment to do that. So
well, you can always get those opportunities. Like when any one of us are off, like we still have the same opportunities out there. Like you'll get our watch list every morning. We'll go over the levels. I put my note out there, had the exact same level when I got in this morning. So I think it's just the very, very big and key levels. They're difficult to miss because they're going to stand out on the chart. That's why we go through why we go through the process every single morning, just so we can spot them. It doesn't mean they have to get there. Not every stock gets. Like look at Roblox.
And you have to take the trade.
Yeah, well, exactly. Roblox hasn't broken 47. I like 47, but it hasn't happened yet. So this is another name that we like the key level. We know all about it. And it's a nice double top in here. It's yesterday's high. And I'm saying this as it could break the high in 15 cents. It has every opportunity to break this double top. But until it does, that is the key price level. It's a nice trend up on Roblox. You can follow the news on this one. It was down for a hot minute on that China. It's not really a ban. I guess it was a China crackdown, for lack of a better term, on some gaming companies. It decided to basically rip faces off that morning and has been continuing ever since. It's your first consolidation double top here on Roblox. So I like the top end break there. But that's what it's all. About. Like find those key levels for you. But we're all here doing basically the same thing as traders, which is finding a trading opportunity that you can lock into, and then making sure you trade it only when it sets up. Speaking of setup, Mara is continuing to just absolutely rip faces off. Forget about 30 and 30 and a half. 31 on Mara is your next stop to the upside. It looks like it just made a break. I see it breaking 31 and starting to pull back. So I guess buy the dip. Previous high, 30.70. That's where I like to buy dips off previous highs.
All right. What's up, Nick W? Could I help you out with a swing trade idea? Sure, why not? Okay, let's see what you're talking about here. Currently, I'm in Tesla. Okay, Matterport. Ooh, toast. I took some profits on ADSK. Okay, so what do you want to know? All right, so you just let me know there, Nick W. What do you want to know? I mean, look when Tesla was down. You know, it looks like we're going to be wrong on this. We still have 2 more days, tomorrow and then Friday. You know, when Tesla was down here, I don't know, 220-ish. We took this 200 period. We said that we thought we could get to 280 by year end. So I still feel like in the next couple of days, Tesla does have this opportunity to do that. So if you're talking about a swing trade, I don't know if it's about 280. But if you have an opportunity to stay in Tesla, I think that works until it doesn't. And what I mean by that is like basically breaking like through this 233, 244 back on the downside. So that would be something that I'd rather stay in. And then I don't know much. I really like Matterport. I think that's what MTTR is. Yeah, right there it is right there. So it's just I haven't looked at this in a minute. So Matterport, I mean, they're another one of these meta things, right? So, okay, so it's actually good look by you, I feel like. Breaking through this 280, yeah. You know, get this garbage out of here, like I always say. So you get that out of there. You're now swooped over. You're above the 50. You're above the 200. Yeah. I mean, clear sales now for Matterport. I mean, up to 3.8. This 380. This might be a good one. MTTR. Oops, MTTR. Right there. So, all right. Oops, that's MT. MT. It has a huge short float. That's what I'm trying to find out. Okay, not really. It's only 4%. I feel like that might be wrong, but hey, it's on here. So float's not going to be that much of a problem, 250 million. So it's not like it's a super, super low float name. But again, 4.1%, 77% up on options volume today. So there is some interest in this name, but today it's down a bit. So if you do like Matterport, try it. But no, for me, I think this Tesla and what was the other one, ADSK or something? But I would just say Tesla and it was Toast. Was it TOST? I think it was. Toast? Yeah, Toast Inc.
Oh, I know. That's the...
Toast is fine. Let's go Apple. I mean, so I was just looking at it. The thing is, the 50-period moving average, or the 200-period moving average is right there at 19 on the daily. So you've already had a monster move up right now. And look what you're running into. You know, so a lot of support. Yeah, I mean, if you wake up tomorrow and you broke, I mean, I don't know your swing timeline, but if you're above this 200 period, then you're laughing again. So I like it. Here's the garbage underneath the 50. It got out of there. Now it's straight up to the upside. I think you've got a couple good names there. So, you know, congratulations on all of that. But right now we're 40 cents in the money on Apple and trying to get higher and higher.
Toast, if anything, I was going to say, like, that stock it's almost poised to make a second leg when I pull up that chart. Like, that's a spicy one, because someone mentioned this yesterday. It might have been the same person. Like, if it breaks 19, it's just got a ton of room to run. I apologize in advance. This wick on the chart on Meta just keeps coming back. I have cleaned it up, but this dark pool print down to 334 just keeps on coming. But you can see here, when the market just bounced, it didn't get back above 357, holding 356.5. So it doesn't feel like this is a super strong one right now, if and until it gets above VWAP or above the 57. I want to look for a short in this name. And it's not to say you have to short things, but generally speaking, the last little bit, like not getting, like short weak stocks, long strong stocks in the afternoon has been like a safe way to go. Like yesterday, the market was rallying, Rivian was underneath VWAP, and that was a good short. So I look at the same thing here on Meta. Underneath VWAP, looks weak, so I want to be shorted. And I'll say the same thing for Affirm. If Affirm can creep under VWAP and break this little trend that it has going of the higher lows, then I would look for a short on that name as well. So short off the high is done, but I think there is still a second leg. We got AMD on a big break. And Chef Joe, yeah, I know what Toast does. I'm not that familiar with the company, but yeah, restaurant software, point of sale. It's a good business to be in when the economy is certainly doing well and you're getting expansion. I'm sure Peter Schiff would say that's going to be a bad company, because I just heard him say that not only is a recession coming next year, but that isn't even the biggest problem. Rampant inflation is going to come back. So, it's interesting. It'd be interesting to hear what his take on what rampant inflation would be going into next year. Something tells me he'll be talking about double digits. I don't think that's happening. That's just me. I think if there's a downturn in the market, in the economy, it's more likely to happen 2 years from now than next year. Anyways, newest position was getting back into AMD. I'm not short yet on Meta, but I plan on getting that in front of 357.
All right. Okay. All right, let's try to find some more trades. So I don't know, Adara may or may not remember this on the midday show, but I was like, Adara, check out Amazon. Because Amazon was up at VWAP. And there it was at 153.90. It dropped all the way to 153.20 right there off that VWAP. We don't have it. We were short, but it's back and forth a little bit. We should have had it. You know, this is when we were getting long on Apple, and I was thinking to myself, hey, if I'm getting long on Apple, I really think this market's going to break higher. And the long on Apple was absolutely cash. That was a good idea. But not shorting Amazon up here at VWAP was a bad idea. We should have shorted that. And that just went right back in. So I just wanted to say that this was, if you were on the midday, I interrupted Sharif and I was like, tell Adair to look at Amazon, because I know that she was long in here, and there it is. It topped out at 153.90, and that was a great short. I mean, even if you go short against that little wick up there, like give yourselves 10 cents for 60. I mean, again, it's up to you where everybody decides to hold it on that one. But I do like Amazon up there for sure. I kind of was looking at Affirm, looking at some different names that are moving around. We did take a hit. Oh, I guess we never got that NVIDIA long. Oh, wow. We put it in after that move, so we had just missed it right here. That's too bad. Okay, we'll still wait for NVIDIA down to 493. Apple's obviously working around as well. Let's just check out Tesla back down to 262. So when Tesla's doing this kind of stuff in the middle of the day, I kind of like, I don't know. I would much rather it come back into something that I know can support, so 261. So maybe a drop down for this. Although this is at VWAP right now that I see this market kind of going on its side a little bit here, okay, I just punched out some more Apple. Here it comes right back into VWAP. Could be worth testing at this level here, 261.60 for Tesla. But this market could turn around. So there's another out there. See, we just punched out there on Apple. We talked about that. So there's another out as the 50 period starting to, guys. It's finally happening. You see how it turned down there a little bit? That's where we got nervous. Now you are aggressively starting to get turned. So like Sharif in the club, where is that guy? He's not here anymore. You don't want to get too turned up right now. But it looks like it's turning down. So watch out for this one. Trying to zoom out a little bit here on this. I'm going to take another piece at 12, and then there it goes. So we take that out a little bit at 12 there. And now we'll wait to see if it does turn down. We only do have 10% left right now. What's up, Renata? We'll talk about Bob in a minute. How much volume is bets, someone asked?
Oh,
it was 1.1B, wasn't it?
Yeah, it crossed 2 billion. I didn't check since about like lunchtime, but it crossed 2 billion a while ago. It's almost at 3 billion in volume.
Wow.
And it's actually up. So look at where this stock bounced. Now, at 10:20, we were in the morning show trading big cap stocks, but apparently this bounced off of what price? Shocker, 1 cent. 1 cent is support on this stock. It was a breakout yesterday. If you happen to be trading this, you don't look any further than the 1. I still like a 2 break on this. I know that's kind of dumb, but I don't know. Simple trades are simple trades, man. If this breaks 2 cents, I think look for that break. You can probably get a move to 2.5, which that's a pretty good return. Obviously, 25% is a good return. Understand that you got to think in percentages and not pennies when you're trading this stock. At least that's my 2 cents. So you can trade however you want to, but I think you're looking at this in terms of percentages. That way you can wrap your head around the R&R on the trade and not get wrapped up in all the zeros. AMD at the top, let me zoom back in here. It just made a move into 146. I'm gonna make another out here in front of 146 even. If it breaks 146, taking the stairs to the upside, I might look to add. I wanna treat this the way that probably should have been doing this from a VWAP in here, but the way that I looked at Apple when it made that move, which was, the alpha was in here and then in here, and it's got some consolidation for some scalp trades, but the big move, it feels like has happened. So you're going into scalp mode off the top, and as the market's starting to pull back, I'm just going to get over to a firm here, because if a firm can't hold VWAP, I still like the short. I know I trailed out of it. I gave you the reasons why I got out. It might end up being the wrong decision that I didn't hold. And sometimes you can get out of a short and then engage it at a worse price after. Or the same thing with a long. You can get out of a long and then end up buying back higher. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as the next trade that sets up is a winning trade. But if it breaks this consolidation down, I am looking for a short in this thing. Good thing we took something out of AMD, because I think we're failing a little bit of this top. So I want to wet the beak here. When I say wet the beak, is as we're breaking this trend, which did not stay in, there you go, somewhere along that line. As we're breaking this trend, I want to wet the beak underneath this probably quarter level on a firm. So I like the short, but I want it breaking this trend line back into the downside. AMD, my stop is at 60. So we took some when it got 1-to-1, and then the next would have been 146, but once it's underneath 1-to-1, I get out. Very similar structure to the scalp trade up here in AMD. Apparently Intel's underneath VWAP. I mean, I like Meta. I already like a firm. I don't know that I want to jump to another name to the short side here. I just want to stick to, I think fine, under VWAP is something that I want to look for, but I've already got a couple of names that fit that criteria for the short side. Like yesterday, it could have been easy, I think, to overtrade, and sticking to a couple names in the afternoon, probably easier thing to do. It's really, you're going to get a lot of things that'll technically set up in the morning when they have all day to work. When you're in the second half of the day and you got an hour for them to go, I think you want to pick your spots a little more carefully. In the morning, if you like a long, it's like, okay, great. If it just trends all day, you can hold like 4 or 5 longs all day. It's a different story in the afternoon.
Guys, like this is the kind of stuff, man, like that we're trying to teach. Like, look at Apple. I just discussed getting out here. And then so we took a couple outs right in front of you, and then we took our last out there at 13s or 12s, and now you're really starting to dip in again. on Apple, right? And so that's like, when I look at stuff like this and I tell you I only have 10% left and things, like this is why. Like I just feel that it's important that we talk about those kind of things. But right now, NVIDIA just filled me up there at O's. So right there, we'll take a 25-cent win. We'll go money, 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 and let's just do this again. Let's just take 30 cents. Why the hell not? As that's it, man. There it is. Like, what's up with that right there? That's another one. Thank you, DJ. As we'll drop down a little bit of money right here. As there goes NVIDIA, and there it is. See? So like I was over there talking with Adara, getting set up for the recap show. Make sure you do join me tonight. Shout out to, I think it was Charlie or Nick W in the chat there, said sometimes it seems like I'm in the Matrix. Sometimes it does, man. And sometimes it seems like I'm outside in Toronto right now and it's all cloudy as hell up in this head. So
it's actually raining.
That's the thing. Is it raining now?
Well, it was. When I went to get my water, it was raining.
Yeah, so that sucks. Too bad. It's been raining all day. But anyways, yeah, it's cloudy as hell. When I went for a walk, there's cloud warnings here right now. But yeah, we're not foggy at all right there. There's 40 cents right now in the money. We're already out. Again, we're already out of 40% of this. Let's see if it works. I actually wanted to go in and think about buying some more Apple down there. Let's let it settle down. If it can come into 80s again and we can go 6-1, 7-1 on the R to R, we'll try to do that. But that's kind of wishful thinking. Let's see if NVIDIA gets that chance to go. Look at the spread, right? It's about 10 cents. Now it's 15 cents. When it starts to go, it starts to go. VWAP up there at 60. Here we go. Let's put another offer up here near 70s. See if we can get a piece out on that one. And then ho-hum. This is what I mean. You never know where the rags to riches trades will come from. We weren't even in NVIDIA, but at least we talked about it. We talked about it, which one we wanted to buy, and that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying when I said when it's real, it's easy. You know, it's easy to get excited. That's a good play right there. I'm happy some of you guys have that one on NVIDIA. Obviously, it's 65 cents, and I couldn't be happier, right? I don't know any other stock. I mean, there's going to be lots of stocks you can get 65 cents on, but that one was pretty clean and pretty easy right there, as now we're out of 60%, 40% left. And there it is. What's up to Diamond Realty in Miami? Yeah, it is kind of like a little bit of across the pond here today. It's actually really warm, guys. It's 7 degrees, so it's like...
I was going to say 8, but...
Yeah, it's like 50 degrees or 45 degrees here, even more than that. What's up to everybody?
Which obviously that's in Celsius. But I want to shout out quickly to The Crow. Saying you guys are awesome. Not my usual stream, but definitely will tune in more. Tune in every single day. It's basically the same thing every single day that the markets are open. Don't tune in if the U.S. markets are closed. You know, we'll take off when the U.S. markets take off, but we're always here pretty much every single day, looking at the moving stocks. We're not worried about. You can find some opportunities for the long term. Like, we're not terribly worried about what's going to happen 5 years from now. I can give you some ideas and stocks that I hold, but at the end of the day, we're just here to look at actual actionable trades. And the market's giving you some of that opportunity here. You are getting a bit of a dip and pull back into the top. And just for myself, if I get another pull into the high, 145.90 is the high of the day on AMD. If it fails that top again, I think we go scalping inside a little bit more. I still favor short on a couple of names. One of them is Meta. The other one is Affirm. Affirm did not break that bottom. And I just noticed that Tesla just failed VWAP for the second time today. Not the first time, for the second time. Tesla's been all strong most of the day. Suddenly, it's showing a few cracks. Still above 260, obviously, but showing a few cracks in there. I prefer, as I said, I prefer Meta. But underneath VWAP, you want to short things that are relatively weak. My Meta chart's a complete mess. That sucks. It's like, now I have a big gap in there. So when I have a gap in that chart, my Meta chart is fine when I look up here. When it's got a gap, VWAP's going to be off because it's actually missing a bit of that. But I want to break down here on Affirm. Just have to be patient. Do not want to overtrade this name. This is one where it's a $50 stock, but when this moves, like, its tight range is 30 cents. It is a third of the price of AMD, which has the same range in the same time. So you have to respect it. It's a little bit more volatile, so I'm a little more, I think, what's the word? Like, patient at these levels. VWAP was already tricky earlier. Trading it off the top was much easier when it's at that big high. And nothing going on there in SoFi. If you're still working with Mara, it hasn't made a dip back into the 60s and 70s yet. Oh, okay, it might here. I was sitting in front of the previous high, but if the dip ends up being in here at 80s and it comes out the other way, I think I can just go for the long up here on Mara. And if it breaks 31 again and takes out the high of the day, maybe I just take a top end break. The stock has just been on one for a few days now. And sometimes buying high, risking 10 cents is going to be worth it on Mara.
Oh man, guys, don't ask me any investment advice on crypto names because like I got out of HUD 8 down at $13 and it is ripping again today. Like this HUD 8 is kind of here. You know what? I'll look at it on a better chart because then you can see. And you don't have to worry about all those split adjusts because we don't adjust for them, unfortunately, on our charts. But yeah, so again, we were long down in here, 8, 9, but I don't even remember the exact price, $8, $9. All right, we got the reverse split. It wasn't looking very good. I made that move back into $8 again. I was like, what the? And then all of a sudden, we made a complete opposite move all the way back upside and started to regain some of this high. So like I was long at 8, went up to 12 and was like, okay, you know, it's pretty good. And by the way, right now Nvidia's 70 cents in the money. And then all of a sudden, when it went up and started to dance around here, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just get some out. And I actually got it all out because I thought this was a decent level, but wow, wrong I am as it just continues to rip up. So a big congratulations to anybody that actually had HUT and a big congratulations to anyone that still held it. So there's two different things there. All right, so here goes Nvidia, 200 period. Very, very silly for me not to get this out at least somewhere up there. If we can make a smooth dollar and let it join everyone's favorite club, then we will let it do that. So that is going to be hopefully a dollar club. And then we did get some more out on Apple because it did retrace back to the upside again. And it just went to the 50 pair and I got some more out at 06. So it's literally right there at 06. And again, if you're joining us, and I know Neil mentioned someone was joining us for the first time, it's like, welcome, but make sure you share this stream. Because look at this, you can ask me about any of these trades if you want today. We've got some pretty good ones on board as well, including this NIO trade that we had on earlier. And there it is right there. Not only was it on earlier, but this was a sticky note trade that we talked about buying NEO on dips. I actually like the 950 break to be a little bit more aggressive. I have a feeling like maybe Adara's mic is on or something. I keep hearing it maybe in the back. But right there, 910, 915, nice little move there on NEO. We've left it alone.
It's like feedback.
But 890, yeah, it's like open air. But 890 in the back there, something to look at. Earlier we talked about this 890 when it was down there. We didn't do anything about it. We were looking for a little bit lower, but that's just another name to come into play. So I'm just going to wait for NVIDIA. Hopefully we get the 200 period and be able to close out a decent part of this trade. We still have 40% left. I just don't know, man. We're under the VWAP right now. We talked about today possibly being a red day in the market.
That has a size at the 1.5, which is intriguing to me. I'm just 5 cents away from my next fill on AMD, and obviously Affirm's not breaking down yet. It will soon. It could soon. I shouldn't say will. It looks like it wants to break down. So I think Affirm short is going to probably come into play. I don't know about Meta, because Meta's now at 356, and I want it tight to 57 for the short. But this is 150, 150, and now again at 150. And I just saw a few million shares on the offer. It's a 1 cent stock. So if it gets a break of this, I could see it going to 175. And this is not $1.75. This is 1.75 cents. So 1.5 cents to 1.75 actually looks pretty decent. The volume is tapering off. That's the only downside of that trade. I would love to see a little bit more volume. And as I say that, it pulls back. So a breakout trade has to break the top. It's just like Roblox. If it doesn't break through resistance, I don't want it. And now here comes Affirm. Just break this bottom. That's all I want to see. Break the 51.25, and I'll jump back into this short. I want to get that short there on Affirm.
Here's, this is, again, something that we do for the recap show. Join me at 4 o'clock. We'll go over everything. And part of the sections is Sean's tweets. Look at this right now. We will talk about this tonight because I think this is pretty important. 90% of the S&P 500 stocks, the SPX stocks, are above their 50-day moving average. The last time, and we've topped out all month right here at that percentage, right? But the last time we were here back in the summertime, that's when, whoop, we went all the way down to 10% left. And that's, of course, that whole 52-week high bottom to top in 48 days. So there it is right there. We're near the top. You know what? I mean, Santa Claus rally is on, and I don't expect that to be any different. So we'll just continue to wait to see if anything does happen. You see Apple's fallen back in a little bit right now into this level. Feel like this might be worth talking about. I am going to just punch out of a little bit more here of NVIDIA if I am able to do exactly that. And there it is at 50s. So now I'll cancel my 96, and we'll just see what now NVIDIA has in store for us. So we'll take another piece out. We only have 20% left now. So 2040. 2040 out right away for 30 cents, then 40 cents, then another 20 out for 60 cents, and then another one out right here at VWAP. Hey, look, if it continues to go up, fine. We just got out at 50. The spread is still pretty dangerous here at times on this name. So we'll continue to watch it. I'm still pretty comfortable with all of these positions. Palantir obviously trying, okay, well, we just got another bid on that one. So let's just go bang. Why not? I didn't even notice we got that fill. So there it is, another fill right there for Palantir as we've gone back-to-back jacks on that short. And it's just NVIDIA, 40 cents, and then Apple. You know what? Maybe we will just, it's really close. All right, let's try a reload here, I guess, in and around. Okay, well, we just punched 82. So now we're loaded up at 82. We're not loaded up. Small little time here because this is 3 times. You know, at some point you're dancing with the devil. Shout out to Batman here in a pale moonlight, because if this doesn't hold, then you have the 200 period right there, and that's a breaker 1.9. So we'll wait to see if that comes back up. Again, we are out of this trade with 7 cents worth of risk. So hopefully it comes into the 80s, 90s. We'll be able to take a little piece out and then try to hold half for back sub 190 or greater than 193. So hopefully that can come back in. If not, it doesn't come and we don't have to worry about it. And then here comes NVIDIA. Look at that little, as Sharif would say, quadunk down there into 493.15 again. So let's watch out for that. This is all hinging on Apple, I feel like. There's nothing, the market is just waiting for this Apple to break. And when
it's not waiting?
Probably a firm.
Uber.
Ooh, yes. Is it going down?
No.
Where?
Uber
63.
is at 63.30.
All right, I sold some of that one.
So it just got 2% to the upside. I'm kind of kicking. I'm only kicking myself because I actually had 63 marked off, and oh great, that's right, my charts did that thing. So there you go, and move it where it needs to be. But on the daily at 63, this is a top end break at 63. That's why I had that line drawn at 63 even. It's you can have a price level, but you got to come back to it when it gets there. Set an alert or something. This was not trading at a level that I expected it to get there today. So when it got to that price, I had no indication or idea that it was at a key price, and so did not have the trade. But if it's above here, I only want to look longs over 63. That's why we look at resistance. I think there was a wick to 63.5 going back a week and a half ago, but this is a strong stock. It had a pullback because they sold the news on the S&P inclusion, I suppose, and now you're getting a little bit of a dip buy opportunity. Speaking of dip buy opportunities, Mara just pulled back into the 80s, and again, in a 15-minute, that's not going to look any good. So we'll go back to a 3-minute. Pull back into about 75, and then back up to 31 even. So I got 84s. It just broke back above 90 into 31. So it's a tight consolidation. This is a stock with a $3 range that in the last maybe 15 minutes is pulling in like a 25-cent range. But I want to hold something for the high of the day. If there's buyers above 31, I want to try to join those as well here on Mara. 15% to the upside. It's like it's a long till it's not. We said this on weak stocks, like when they're going bankrupt, like it's a short till it isn't. Mara, it's a squeeze that's going higher, and you just sort of take your shots at the long. Eventually, you're going to have the tops. You start scalping it and scalping it. In the mornings, you look for the bigger hold. But I think this market has a decent chance of rolling over, and I want to make sure we're scalping at these highs. I'm not trying to get trapped on a parabolic mover at the high of the day. Risk 10 cents, make 10 cents, hold some of it, that kind of a thing. Make sure you stick to your R&R.
All right, I'm going to tag. So here's something else that's pretty interesting here that we just found out right now. This is something that's pretty cool. Like, how do I F10, F11? It's not going to work out. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, the 10 largest stocks in the S&P 500 contributed to 75% of the weighted. Okay, control plus. Yeah, it's ooh. Okay, Boomer. Too much pluses. Okay, there it is. How's that? Okay.
It's like a lag.
Yeah, so I just want to say, first of all, let's go Apple, first of all, right now. Oops, Brittany. We did it again and again and again and again. All right, so I just saying, like, exactly. So I just posted this. So exactly. So this isn't a new story. Like, the top 10 are always outproducing the market. It's just extended now because everybody thought that names like Apple, Google, Microsoft, all the big names that are in the index, right, are really safe havens, and they are. They're cash producing machines. So yeah, same story. So I tagged my good friend JC Peretz, All-Star Charts. We're gonna have him back on the show any day now. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'll call him and he'll come back on. Tomorrow we do have Kevin O'Leary coming through as well. But now there you go, X. Okay, that worked. All right, so anyways, it's just, that's the story. But look what's happening there to Apple. Like, let's go, guys. Like, it is again.
Another one.
All right, that's enough. But it's another money-making opportunity. And there it is on Apple. It's called rinsing and repeating. And again, remember we talked about this? We would take this for 7 cents worth of risk. So not only did, and again, thank you so much for watching and joining. Hit this again.
Like and subscribe today.
It's like, this is why I'm saying 7 cents worth of risk, right? You saw me get long at 82. I actually punched long right in front of everybody. And then out. First out is that 1-to-1 ratio. Then we got 2-to-1 up here, 97s, 98s. And I said, we'll hold to see if it can get up to the high side right now. So if the market goes, we have it and we like it and we like it a lot. And then guess what? We said there's no party like a dollar club party. Well, there it is right now. And it's on NVIDIA, as there goes NVIDIA to the high side as well. Hey, one trade today on NVDA, right? And so that's what it is. One long trade right there off of that support. Could have averaged in at VWAP, but let's just see what happens here at the 200 period upside. It's AMD that I actually don't have any trades on today. That's the name. We'll wait to see what happens here. Palantir, look, man, the weak name's still staying weak. The strong name's strong. So yeah, we're trading pretty much dead on.
Yeah, it's
right
about
now,
making those adjustments.
how we
right?
want to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend and all that good stuff until the end when it bends. Shout out to Obi. He coined that line. Okay, well, he said he took it from somewhere else. I said he should just say it's his because everyone here knows that it's his. But a couple of things just happened. One, I got out of Marv. We just talked about the trend to the upside. Rinsing and repeating, there is your dip into, it's actually not 30.75. It's about the 3/4 mark. 77 is the local bottom. I had 84s, some out there when it broke 90, that was 1-to-1. And then right here, there was a seller at 31 even. I got out exactly at 99 when that seller showed up. So it's a tight range in there for some scalp trading as I'm trying to get the bottom again. I just tried to get 83s instead of 84 like last time. Let's see if we can still get it. And then the other thing is SoFi. We've basically been waiting for SoFi to make the break of the consolidation. So there you go. It bounced off of 25s. We went long in front of 30s. I got 33s and 34s. My price actually 33.75 or something like that because I got some midpoints. And it just printed 39s. So back up to the high of the day would be great. But this is a very, like SoFi, when it consolidates, you get long consolidation and then the move happens, right? So you don't have to go all crazy about it. As a matter of fact, like while we're sitting in it, you could have actually gotten a fill at 31.5 and gotten a better price. For that consolidation long on SoFi. Will it get past 1050? My gut's telling me no. This is up 4.5%. It's already made 2 pretty big parabolic moves, and the way that it pulled back was pretty, I don't know, it felt pretty weak when it got up there. So I just don't feel it's going to break out the high of the day. I do love what the stock is doing in general. Another one of these great consolidation, downward channel, trend reversal plays, held the 50 in the 200 period, then held the $8 key level, and then just started breaking it out, and it's got room to 1150. So the swing trade on this has still been very valid, I think, on SoFi. It's getting a little top heavy. I think it probably runs into some trouble at 11 and 11.5, and then there's always news. I mean, it's as we get closer to the election year, and there's always news around student loans there as well. But SoFi, I think it's a fantastic one. Powered up, it's been a great long for weeks now. And another breakout here off the $10 level. I think we see $11 at some point in January. I haven't decided what I want to do in my personal account, whether I want to take some out or just hold it forever, which was the initial plan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, again, if you're following on X, we bought SoFi at 6, and we bought SoFi again at 7, so that is a good one. I want to say a big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend. He's in the building. Where is he? It's Raider Trader showed up in the chat. So shout out my guy. I reached out to him. I have no idea where he is right now, but shout out to Raider Trader, who will be making his return appearance for his first appearance on the recap show, of course, but a return appearance for Trader TV Live TraderTv.live. I'm definitely glad I reached out to him. And if there's anybody else, man, we've had JC Peretz on, Brian Shannon on. There he is. What's up, my guy? Right there. So shout out to Raider Trader coming back on today at 4:15. Go check him out on Instagram and all over the place. But yeah, good times going to be had here today as well as, yeah, man, the market is really juiced up right now. Nvidia's $1. Apple's small little 15 cents, and Palantir's not doing too much. So let's look elsewhere right now. There's that bottom on Tesla, 261. All right. Oh, SMH, shaking my head. Nah, it's not that. We're looking at the SMH, the Van Eck Semiconductors Index right now, as that hits VWAP again. So there it is. We don't trade this too much on the show, but here coming right back into that level, as of course, we've already got NVIDIA on board, so I feel like we'll just wound up holding that. But for right now, SMH, again, trying to test up some of these highs. For those of you playing along at home, welcome. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. Here comes an airplane dropping down some cash, because that's sort of what some of these trades are all about here. And you want to make winning trades. I mean, sometimes they don't work out, obviously, but when they do, you want to make sure that you try to maximize them as much as possible and always have a risk plan. We wouldn't have taken Apple down here if we didn't have an out. And we did have an out. We talked about it when it was coming down. When it was up here, we talked about it getting exhausted, and we got out. So then we got reloaded down there at the bottom. So that was a good trade down there. Now we'll wait to see where it goes on Apple. We're getting out more and more because it doesn't seem to want to break through 193 right now. Amazon, definitely a missed opportunity for me off that short of 190. Still thinking Apple, 154 right there, but now you're up to the 200 period. This is another interesting take. But the thing is the NASDAQ's at O's right now. So it's like, okay, probably not really worth taking in any positions unless we get
Q's lower highs on the NASDAQ here.
An outside move. BABA, yeah. I liked what Alfred was talking about. Qs are making...
Well, the Qs, and I'm only pulling up the Qs just because it's easier. Like I already have this on my 3-minute. I usually look at the ES and the NASDAQ futures on 15 and 60-minute charts. So I'm just going to throw this up. You're getting lower highs on the Qs. So I didn't re-enter any. The only long I still have is a SoFi trade, and then Nikola's a different story. But it feels like we're kind of rolling back under here. You couldn't take VWAP on the Qs, and you're sort of laboring at the low of the day. So I don't know how many times we can rinse and repeat. I look back over, Affirm isn't really setting up for the short that I wanted. Meta, again, is a little, maybe a 15-minute chart might be, it's a little bit better on my 15-minute chart on Meta. So that 357, it's still working back into that level. You just haven't really tested it to give that short entry. I'm trying to be patient with it with Meta. It's still relatively weak in the sense that it's underneath VWAP and hasn't really broken the trend. I understand it's up 0.5% when the market is very slightly down, but that's a different story when you talk about the actual price action intraday. That's one distinction I always try to make. So when I say that it's relatively weak, I'm talking about the price action today and this afternoon, and not necessarily about what the percentage is on the individual day. Oh, that chart's going to haunt me now.
Ooh, another Streamlabs printing a little bit here. We just gambled up. We're feeling pretty good about trading today, so we just spun 5 bills right there. Hit 2,500. So okay. I wish it was real money right there. We'll go 5-1 on that. That was nice. So again, Apple does make that move back up. We'll take out a little bit. What other names, you guys? Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. I see Raider Traders here getting a lot of questions going on. Okay, what's up to Gabriel? Yeah, Neil, the #1 trader on the web, correct?
Duppy, for Duppy, the indicators on my chart, volume and VWAP, unless it's a daily chart. And then I have the 50 and the 200 period moving average. Nothing else on my charts. They're pretty clean, I like to say.
Yeah, 50 to 200, same as me in VWAP.
On a daily, though. On an intraday
thing,
chart, I don't use moving averages on an intraday chart, VWAP and volume. And then I like to use the 15 minutes to find key levels. So, I mean, I've used other indicators in the past. I just haven't really settled on ones that I like on a consistent basis.
All right. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Settle on something that you like and that's been working for you. And like I said, man, we've been really pumping. The last 3 months have been like amazing months. Despite it being pretty hard for traders, it's been really good. And we've really been able to sort of focus on strategies and what we're doing. So pretty proud of the results over the last couple of months. So that's for sure. And again, even this month, another good month to start with here, to end the year and hopefully start the new year in January with bigger and better. And it all started today. Still my #1 stock. And I mean, still the #1 stock on the show, you know, is going to be Tesla, P&L wise. I mean, boom, right there, right up to the upside for Tesla. So, I mean, again, it doesn't, you know, right now we're just kind of throwing around shares, at least I am, making money. Obviously, you guys can see all the trades I'm in. But this was really the day maker, right? When we had the 260 long, and then got out 263, 262, and a bunch out right here. Like, that was really good. So that, for me, that was a good one. And then unfortunately, we broke the 50-period moving, VWAP right there, and we got out at 261.50. I know a lot of you saw it, remember that. It was good because it went down here, but we could have reloaded it. And right now, I'm debating reloading Tesla right now against this 260.50. So there is lots of opportunity here right now with some of these names. It's 310, so, you know, we could still get involved here. I mean, it's not that I'm purposely trying to stay out of anything. I'm looking for good opportunities. I don't want to throw bad money after good. I mean, we're up on the day. We're smoking. We've had 2 red days this month. It's an absolutely
the last thing you want to do,
monster day. And I want to thank, just quickly here, I want to thank Raider Trader right now. He's coming on the show tonight. So there's 50 clean. Get Neil some carry-out pet pizza with pineapples. Thank you, Raider Trader, for coming on. And again, you're going to be on, Raider Trader. Although I like all the shows, but you know, the market recap show, I feel like is the most fun show. And we're going to have a lot of fun today, Raider Trader. So thank you so much for that one, and we're going to see how that goes, because trust me, bro,
that's a lot.
Raider Trader's back.
That's a lot of pizza for 50 bones, and it's interesting. Like, takeaway, I feel like people say takeaway in England, but that's not where you're from. Maybe is that a West Coast thing to say takeaway pizza? We just call it takeout. But shout out to anybody that likes pineapple and pizza, everyone watching the show. I'm glad you remember it. Someone in the chat was saying, do you still mock me for being a boomer? I'm curious about that, but I do want to see what your outlook is. I heard some ridiculous, hopefully you're watching this right now. I've seen some ridiculous calls. I was talking about Peter Schiff, what people think can happen next year. I've heard some really serious doom and gloom stuff. But I'm kind of curious what your look is for next year. I still like some of the chip names. Last time I was on the pod, I talked about cybersecurity names that we liked, still working. But at the end of the day, it's really about making the trades that work for you. I know sometimes when you're a swing trader versus a day trader, you have different time frames. And speaking of, like, I'm about to hopefully get back in tomorrow with what I think is another like 20, 25 cent scalp trade. I missed the bid by a couple of cents there. I told you guys I was looking for 83s and had bids underneath. Well, it got to 83, did not fill the bid, and then move right back up to the high. That's how quick it can move. Sometimes you should be, when you see that happen, you should cross the spread quickly and grab 84s or 85s. If you're really hot in the keys, that's what you should do. Obviously, you can see that I didn't get that fill. I moved up just a little bit so I can get that scalp trade. As we get into power hour here, there's still time for a top of the day break. Why I like Mara is the market is trying to bounce off the lows. And we're just only going halfway. We're back into green. But Mara can take out the high and just continue the trend, which has been going up and up and up. So it gives you some chance to hold the trade, which I do like. I think Affirm's kind of gotten out of favor. I think Roblox at this point, I canceled my breakout trade on Roblox because I don't think it's going to happen. I might put it back in if it looks strong again. And I might take more shares out just above 1-to-1 on SoFi. If it can't get through 40s, as a matter of fact, no, I'm just going to get on the offer and try to get some 38s and 39s again. It doesn't seem like it wants to break that 40 level. We got 33s and 34s, risking to 30, and it's already given some at 39. I'm going to see if we can't take some more out. And Tilran, Meta, it's at the 357 level as we speak. I do have it up on another better like other charts as well, but it's a little bit frustrating. I know for you guys to see this Meta on my 3-minute chart, but it's testing the 357. I want to join a curl at this level as opposed to just stand in front of a moving freight train because the market's bouncing off the low. So if I see some weakness back underneath, then I look to engage the short in the other side of the trade.
All right, we still have Apple. We're still trying to look for things, man. I just got some more out of Palantir. Still trying to do some damage here on something. I just, you know, we don't have to be in anything. Like I said, you could sort of see what we're doing. All right, people spinning. I'm trying to see if there's anybody has any sort of, I'm just looking here at the chat, if anybody has any sort of names here that anybody wants to look at. We could do that together here. Yeah, MSTR, I mean, we could talk about Mara. Mara has been a great long, and then obviously Coinbase at that 180 level. We just should have had that, and it's just embarrassing. I had it up on the screen. Remember, I was looking at it. I was like, maybe I should. And the next thing I knew, it was at 182 right there for Coinbase. So that was a beautiful break on the daily, nicely done to the upside. Really got cooking right there. Boom, straight off the open, huge move up for Coinbase. And the thing is like, we might not have that trade, but it doesn't really matter. We're still here. And that's the thing. Like, I'm here every day. We have 2 red days this month. All right, bets, bros. Okay, bros. We could do that. Dish, AMD. Okay, let's look at bros here, because Dutch Bros has been a pretty hot name. We looked at Starbucks a couple times. And then of course we know that Starbucks has issues politically, or they did. It's probably cleared up now, and it was just some Palestine and Israel stuff. All right, so let's go over to bros quickly here and have a quick look to see what we see on the chart. So bros really working recently off the daily chart. This looks pretty clean. This is actually super. A dip down into the 50-period moving average, well spotted and held, and now you're trying to take out some of these upside moves. If you're looking for today, I like this breakout. I would not sell this. It looks like it's trying to break out. It's above the 200-period moving average at 29 bucks, looking to break through 32. Does have a problem, obviously, up here to 35, but that would be a great move from here. 35 is another 10, 15% from here. If you're going to look to day trade this, like right now, swing trade, or not swing trade, but trade it today, I don't know, man. You just broke up. So you just broke through the highs. I think you could probably hold this. If you're trying to scalp it, 31.50 right there is where the 50-period moving average is. Yeah, pretty clean and not too much movement here today. Off of that bottom has been the nicest move. And then right now it's just trying to get going. Look at that VWAP hold. That's perfect. This is kind of the stuff that you're looking for, right? This is like not what dreams are made of, but if you're there on that VWAP, and that's something that goes back, you could have identified it, 31.25, and had yourself a nice move. So great call on bros, and I think it's breaking higher right now. I feel like you're going to see 35 before you see even the 200 period down here at 28. So that's better risk to reward than that. But if you break below, I wouldn't be any worried until you break through the 50 period. I do like Dutch Bros, but not super today. And there it is right now with 7 cents worth of risk. There's 3-1 right now. We'll fire off a hot dog gun for Apple as it's at 192.82 is where we're long. That's the reloaded position. And we just took an out at 193. So all is well, man. The net keeps on climbing.
Yes, sir. And Mara keeps on, I don't know what to tell you. It's now at 15% to the upside. Just made a new fresh high. I'm going to move the dip buy because as it takes every time it stair steps to the upside, if you make a fresh high, then you're looking for a new entry point, not the same one as before, because you want the stock to be continuously going higher. So that next level could be 30.90, 31 even. I just want to see it break and hold above that high of the day. You just can't stop, won't stop. I'm out of AMD after a couple of scalp trades. But that also just took out the high of the day. So anything, you've had any longs this morning, they've been fantastic. I waited for a little bit of red in Meta. There was my entry. It then broke the local high. So when I'm looking for a retracement trade off a level like this, I want it to, sometimes it breaks, short underneath, and then stop out at that high of the day. And you can sometimes, you might get like money fills or whatever you call it, like shorts above the price level. There are situations where you want to do that. Generally speaking, I'll say in advance. Oh, I'm looking for the money fills, shorts above resistance that'll pull back in. This was a case where I wanted to curl, talked about the plan of action, and then there's my stop. In, out, do not want to start bleeding on this. There are still, oh my goodness. Mara, Coinbase. We'll go to Coinbase because we can stare at Mara as it continues to go up and look for scalp trades, but Coinbase also has a 185, there you go, 185 level all afternoon, which it's been trying to break out. So this might be even more interesting if it can take out 185, that would be like a blast off because the high of the day sits at 186 and change. So you'd have like $1 and change if we're going to break out this top on coin. But there is a brick wall at 185 on Coinbase. And when you have a flat top break like this, that's a day trader's dream. So that little high here is now 185.20. I think you need to see buyers above 185 because clearly just taking the 85 break has probably screwed you. If you try to go long every time it breaks, it has not broken and it's pulled back into VWAP. So that's not a great trade. You want the buyers above 185 and then look for the long. I just saw Grandma Ruby saying BBAI. Not a bad one to look at. And then I also saw someone in the chat just saying, yeah, don't overtrade. It's easy to overtrade because you see a million opportunities out there. Make sure you trade the setups that you like. I was waiting for the 357 setup on Meta. Whether it works or not, that's a setup I wanted. It was a relatively weak stock. It didn't make the rollover. Unfortunately, you know what? There you go. There's my black chart. It's working just fine. Zoom it back in for you guys. It didn't make the rollover, but this exact same setup on Rivian was a clean short in the afternoon. Same setup, tight stop. When it works, it works. So you just want to do what works as often as you can and try to eliminate what doesn't work. I know it's an easy thing or a simple thing to say, but trust me, it's not an easy thing to do. Like, I've seen so many traders that will have a plan of action. Don't fight the trend. Don't average down into losing trades, like all of this good stuff. They know all of it. And then in the heat of the moment, you get too excited and then you're doing all those things that you shouldn't do. You take a good day and you turn red on the end of the day, or you give back a bunch of it. So you just got to be very careful with that. That BBAI that was asked about, outside of it holding VWAP, this is barcoding right now. So if it's barcoding, like sometimes you can get a nice breakout trade off a barcode. I mean, SoFi did that for a little bit, but I haven't traded BBAI today. I was trading SoFi and had been watching the key levels on it. I don't really know them on this particular name. I'm going to assume it's got a little bit of a short float. Big Bear, yeah, 16% short float, Big Bear AI. So it's in that cohort where you get the yada, yada, yada AI, and it's got a short, and it's kind of squeezing slowly to the upside here. I don't necessarily see a trade, but just because something's in an upward trend doesn't mean it's going to give you some obvious setup for a trade. I just don't see anything here. On the daily chart, however, is a different story. Like if it can take out the top, close above 220, it's got like 25% worth of room till the next resistance level. Doesn't really do much for the day trade though.
All right, so I mean, whatever. Apple just keeps on going. Nvidia's still here. What else? Let's look at some other trades that maybe we've had. We've had Snapchat on a couple times here today. This is again. I just feel like we're now above VWAP, and we talked about this before that the market probably is just going to continue its Santa Claus rally, and it might not be super aggressive today, but it's still kind of holding on. I don't want to short Snapchat again. We've already this was pretty much as good as I can do. Get some out initially, then get something out right at the bottom and get all of it out. We don't have anything left. Sometimes we hold 10% all the way back, but we didn't on this one. Don't really know what gave us that spidey sense for that one, but I'm not going to get back in. Renata wanted me to look at Alibaba, so let's do that really quickly here because, again, I feel like what's up to Renata and everybody in the chat that likes to trade these Chinese ADRs. We had Alfred on at the noon hour, and he was talking about Tencent, TCEHY, on the pink sheets. We could look at that chart as well. But yeah, I just know there's a lot of people that are involved with Alibaba, and I just hear that name more than 10 cent, doesn't mean anything, but you're approaching up to VWAP right now. It's 321, so I don't think the market is necessarily dead yet. You still have another half hour. The imbalance is coming out at 350, but that 75 and change held nicely. Let's see what that looks like on a little bit of a greater scale. See, like these bottoms, although, yeah, I guess you could sort of, again, if you're like sort of data mining, you could say, well, this 75.50 was kind of held a little bit there, broke out there, was good. That was kind of the bottom, and that was kind of the top. So this 75.50 something, I feel like 75 is a little bit better. So we continue to wait for those levels. We had that level written down on Alibaba yesterday at 75. We don't have it there today. But I like this name. I'm wondering to get some relative weakness into a portfolio that hasn't gone yet. You definitely want to look at some of these Chinese names, man, because like there's not going to be any tech names right now, like straight tech names, like I mean, Alibaba has a little bit of fintech in it. We've talked about that on that bump up there recently on the IPO possibility of fintech. I forget what it is, what their thing is called over there. But anyways, it's going to be Ant Financial. That should be big, but I think they've shelved that. Anyways, the idea is that there's not too many tech names that are this far down. TCEHY is 10 cent holdings. This is another one. It's WeChat. It's everything wrapped into one is 10 cents. So again, look at this, man. Still lot. It's going to look a little choppy here. It's just the way our charts are going to look here. But $36. Again, back into some of these lows, looking to hold, right? And so there are going to be lots of opportunities here in relatively weaker names. And it got hit on that gaming talk, right? And so the very bottom of 10 cent,
is wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still got a little bit more to go down to 26 bucks. So that's like 30% lower than here, if not a little bit more than that. So that's why I'm a little bit nervous. I just feel like Biden opens up his yapper or somebody does something, or it doesn't have to be Biden. It could be anybody.
The risk is, yeah, it's all
it's huge. It does, and it could be a corporation. It doesn't have to come from the government, but like, what if something happens with Apple, or the Chinese government comes out and does, you know, like they're doing right now, banning Apple from the government use, right? So they're restricting government use of Apple products. You know, I don't know. There's just so many little shoes that can drop with these Chinese names. But again, Tencent operating in China. I don't think they operate outside of China. I mean, we could have WeChat on our phones right now, but their primary market's there. So maybe there's a little less risk with a name like Tencent because it's so ingrained into the Chinese culture.
The gaming thing is it's because of, like, if it wasn't for that gaming crackdown, like that probably was cruising. But one thing that Alfred talked about, he was mentioning like price, like to cash flows. And just some like valuations.
Wow, Roblox.
If you look at the Chinese ADRs, like the values are ridiculous. Like Alibaba is like PE, its price to cash, it's like 2. Its price to sales is 1.4. 1.4 to revenues. Like the value that it's had it's insane from a regular like value investing. That's why everybody loves those stocks. It's just pricing geopolitical risk. I have no idea how to do it. I've been Alibaba multiple times. One time not so bad, and another time I think I took a 25% haircut on what was a swing trade. But the one name that I like, because I've been saying this for the year, or for at least the last year and a half, was PDD's just had a stronger move than the other Chinese ADRs in when it comes to the tech names. It's just been the stronger stock. And even it's at a point now where, like, I don't know that I would like this high given the risk that you have, the geopolitical risk, especially going into an election sort of cycle. So I don't necessarily love this one. I've been all over like this is the one, but at this point, like you're almost better like a value play, in my humble opinion. But I want to go back over to Mara because stock's been going up. That's the best way to say it. It just wicked the high of the day. I'll look for another tight stop entry. Last time it didn't stop out. We risked less than 10 cents. I'll go for the same thing underneath that 31. And I look back over, is my short opportunity in a firm coming into play? I want it breaking the channel down. It's showing some signs. So just got above VWAP again and is failing back underneath VWAP as the market's a bit range bound. We still have a bit of time till we get the imbalances, about 20 minutes. I don't like to put new things on unless it's an imbalance specific setup after 350. So there's one last shot for the short here underneath VWAP. Just need this breaking these quarters. That's a firm.
Right. With Tesla coming back down into 260 again, remember, like we've already sort of done the damage on this stock, so all good. It's just, I'm going to try it again. If we break 260, I'm going to try to pick up some 259.50s or something like that on a little bit of a whoosh down. Obviously, Tesla's looking pretty sick right now. You know, lower highs. There it is right there. There it is, and we're still going. So here comes Tesla right back in to the downside. We actually just touched 260. We actually whooshed in to 260.12s right now. All right. I mean, hopefully we can get that. So let's just look at Tesla one more time. That's where we went long the first time. I'm going to hold this until like a 259 break, honestly. We had a little bit of consolidation there off the jump right there at 259 where we weren't sure what we wanted to do. That little wick down off 259 was 258.70. So you can almost hold it for that. Almost for a level. So if you like that, fine. But there's the big trade of the day, like I said. And then we're going to wait to see if it comes back in again. And then just because, again, you know, these are all outs. So 50 period, we took another out right here at 90 as it went back down in. Right now, I have, once again, 10% left of Apple. And Palantir is really coming in a little bit. We'll face slap ourselves. It's not a huge winner, but as we've said before, it's what else can I do? I have the top of the afternoon, and now I have the bottom of the afternoon. So when you're going top to bottom on a stock when you're short, not good when you're long, but this would be a good one there. Top to bottom right there, so there's not much else we could do except for wait. And then NVIDIA, a little more nervous about Apple just because of Apple's been weak, obviously, and that we get that news today of them, halting, that... Pausing? I have to find the exact word. I should probably do that before the end of the day here. You know what, Adara? Let's cut to Adara in a couple seconds. I want her to give me that story on Apple one more time about what happened there today on Apple, just so I can hear it. All right, so 260 coming through on, 60 cents coming in, but 493 drop on NVIDIA is what we're going to be concerned with. So I'm just going to try to hold this all the way if we can and see what happens. And again, out there on Palantir. And then MSFT.
The wording I saw was a temporary pause of the sales band. So temporary pause.
Okay. All right. We'll get it if Adara wants it. We could do that. Temporary pause. Okay. So pause.
I mean,
It's not.
Isn't that redundant? Like a pause is temporary. That's the whole point. Like
so temporary pause on the injunction so they can start producing them again.
Right, but then the pause could be short, and then maybe you don't make that.
Yeah.
You don't make that step because the pause is short, but it gives them a bit of a reprieve. So, and again, that went into effect on Tuesday. The one I'm looking at doesn't say how long this pause.
Yeah, I don't think there is a date on it.
There might not be a time.
I liked Microsoft up at 376, but it didn't break higher. You could see Microsoft here on the daily. I know there's some traders that were screaming about that one there, 376, 378. You know, and again, very, very top heavy, right? This doesn't look like Carvana. This doesn't look like Affirm. This doesn't look like Snapchat or Uber or anything like that, right? A lot of these big tech names, sans Google, which was breaking out. I know Google's been weak today, but also Amazon and things like that that continue to push a little bit higher. Microsoft, Apple, you know, obviously the biggest and the best continue to sort of hover in and around their highs. So, you know, I'm not super worried. I would be very, very nervous if we took 360 here on Softy, and that's weeks away, I feel like. I thought that no one's going to realize, I just showed you, man, all the top 10 stocks are up 75%. Right now this year, right? So if you want to realize that and start to pay some taxes on those, that's great. But a lot of people won't. So heading into a new year here, I could see some selling possibly as profits be taken early on in the year so you don't have to book them till the next year, and then you can start to buy some lower, or even just sell them and almost just rebuy them, not immediately, that wouldn't make any sense, but either restructure some of the portfolio or see where that goes into the new year. Tesla's still holding 260. Wish that would have dipped down a little bit there.
Roblox is so close.
Yeah, I really like Roblox too. I don't, for me, time of day is still fine. It's only 3:30. It's really 3:50. Is where you get worried about it. So I'm not too worried about Apple. We do expect a big imbalance though on Apple. I do anyways. I could see that happening. Our last out was 90, so that might have been a mistake and a little bit of a panic sell there on Apple to go. But hey, look, man, like no economic numbers really, no earnings coming through. So what's the catalyst gonna be for this market? You know, so that's what I'm talking about. That's why I thought Santa Claus rally was legit. Seems like it's going to hold out hope here and try to hover into that 2+% into the close of December 31st, which is going to be Friday. So we'll wait to see what happens there. The last day of the month is going to be then.
I think what you could see selling.
Yeah, you could.
Is beaten up names that make rallies, like stocks that people are selling for tax loss purposes. Like if you get a bounce in something that's kind of trash and has been down on the year for whatever reason, that's the kind of thing where you might have seen some fades into in the last couple of days. But like Sean said, like why would anybody, you know, like I said this, I might be taking out some Intel to buy some more ARM, but I'm not doing that now. Like why would you do that now? And obviously if you can have it in a tax-free savings account, you don't care, but a lot of times that's what people are going to do. So people that want to rotate, they wait until the new year necessarily to do it. Just a quick update, Nikola had a buyer at 90, so I took some out when it reemerged above 90. I'm now getting it all out at 89. Nikola, it's not a dollar fail, but the premise is the same thing. So I'm looking for the short as every time it's in the last little bit that it's made a move into a dollar, there's been a retracement. A couple of times it was exactly a dollar. One time it was like 97 cents. Here it was like 98 cents once. Today it went to 96 cents and then pulled back. So until this breaks a buck, I think that's going to be an available trade here in Nikola. And then it seems to find buyers in the high 80s and the low 90s. Maybe there's a dollar break in this in the new year, or like a 105 break. I'm all for that. I just like trading around the dollar level. So, you know, it's been a decent short every single time it's made that move on Nikola, so we'll continue to do that as long as the pattern holds.
Just hold on one second here. I got to show you something. Remember we talked about earlier algorithmic trading? Well, all these ones are happening again, literally on Apple. They were just streaming I don't know if I can hear. Look at
There it
this.
is.
Look at all these ones. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So this is some sort. Now it's stopped. They'll probably turn it back on. It's a dark pool, I guess, or an algo that is trying to search for liquidity. Now they're off. So someone was like, wait a minute, I turned it on and shouldn't have. So now it's completely off. But I just wanted to show you that as we had that story that Kathy Wood said 75% of all trading, she thought, I don't want to say exactly what the quote was, I don't remember what it was, but something about the percentage of algos out there and robot trading was in the 75%. I think it's higher, but anyways, it just goes to show you that
People have different definitions.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because you can have somebody monitoring with some keystrokes and automated trade, so it's a kind of black box and it isn't, and some people call that, I think that's kind of automated trading. When you're sitting there and like someone just has like a finger on a key that is sort of working the automated program, to me that should be counted as algo trading. Some people would say that's just a trader that's using some automated processes. So that's why you get varying percentages. I don't know what she was talking about there. Let's go to the desk. Dara, I think you got the story for Apple, or not.
Context on that Apple Massimo story. So this has actually been going on for a little while. There was also earlier on a lawsuit that ended in a mistrial, and then Apple has countersued Massimo, saying that Massimo is basically trying to, I guess, stop the competition because Massimo is trying to put out a competing watch. So definitely a lot to look into there. But for now, the big story is that Apple has won a temporary reprieve in the watch import ban. The ITC has until January 10th to respond. So that's kind of the long and short of it, guys.
All right.
You know what's interesting? We never actually look at that stock.
I don't even know the symbol.
No, it's a NASI. Like we never really look at it, and I don't know. Look, I've never traded it, so I can't tell you what the liquidity is like. But at about 11:30 is when that news hit, and you saw Apple rocket. Massimo fell $8 in not necessarily one clean shot on a 3-minute, but that's a good 10-minute trade or whatever it happens to be. Rolled into VWAP here, and then fell another $4 to the downside. It's only done 1.7 million volume, and the vast majority of that was on the news. So maybe there is something there, like if you're watching some headlines, because Apple was a good opportunity off of that bottom. Like the second the news came out, like you saw the volume spike, it's about 11:30, volume spike, consolidate, go higher. Massimo actually gave you a bigger percentage move. Now the question becomes, how capturable is that as a day trader? Because it's not as simple as, oh, you could have just gone short at Massimo and made $5. For all I know, when you're punching that, like the spread opens to like 75 cents, your risk to reward is out of whack, you can't get shares, who knows? But it's worth watching at least the next time we get a bit of a headline. Because down 5%, I mean, it's a mover, there's no question about it. Massimo is a bit of a mover here, and it is the other end of the story and worth watching.
Here goes crypto. I'm in GBTC. I just punched GBTC long at 36.40. It's absolutely not moving, but crypto's trying to go upside right now, 43.3, a nice little move now, breaking above that 43.250 mark, right? So that was a level that's been here pretty much all day. There it goes right now. Bitcoin trying to make that dance happen, and I just punched long right now. It doesn't look like it wants to go, and I'm not going to be in this I don't want to be in this for very long. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. I might just punch out, 39, 38, something like that. I'm waiting to see a little bit of a higher move here in GBTC, but that high 55, I mean, why aren't we there, right? And so this is part of, you have to know what you're trading and how it trades sometimes, right? And so I don't know, I don't know why this isn't busting outside a little bit. 43.4 now, Bitcoin really starting to go. So we'll watch to see what can happen here on GBTC. What is happening with Mara right now? Another high, another one right there. So there goes Mara. So let's see if GBTC can sort of follow suit, but it doesn't look like it right now. Ace is cracked right here, I guess, on GBTC. So there we go. I'll take a, I just punched out at 39s. Or what did I get, 38s? I don't even know, maybe 38s right there for a couple of hundies. So we'll wait to see. It just didn't go. I don't know. Bitcoin went, man. Bitcoin's still going. Look at this, 43.4 right now, and trying to go up 3% over the last 10 hours. That's what I was looking at. So there it goes, man, 43.4. There's probably going to be a trade here. I'm going to look back, and once again, I've done it to myself probably and got out way too early. So for a loss at that. Let's see what happens here with crypto as it's starting to go back up. Maybe I'll just get long again. On
the
GBTC
1 minute stair stepping. If you're watching on like Binance or TradingView, like on the 1 minute, like you're actually making a fresh high on Binance.
Yeah, I know. That's
like it's like
doesn't want to.
I mean, I'm saying it should be following, but obviously anything can happen. That's the wrong terminology to use. Like if it is going to be following Bitcoin, you just made a fresh high. Coinbase just broke the high as well.
Of course it did.
Okay, typed in New York when it's a NASDAQ stock. That just broke the high of the day as well, and we just saw Mara go. I'm sitting there in Roblox, whatever. Roblox might be a tomorrow thing at that high. It just got there and did absolutely nothing. Whereas you're getting a high of the day breakout on Coinbase while Bitcoin is taking out tops as well. I mean, Mara has been, I think, just as good in a percentage terms. It just broke a new high, so I want to look at that previous top as a dip buy zone. Previous high to go for the dip buy with only 20 minutes to go in the day, 10 minutes till we get the imbalances. I just quickly checked the early looks. I didn't see anything that stood out. And keep in mind, if you see a rather large number when imbalances drop at 350 for bets, well, apparently it broke the NASDAQ record for volume today.
Boom.
And it's a 1 cent stock. So unless that imbalance is 100 million, it's completely insignificant on bets. But it is doing good volume today if you're a scalp trader. The exchange is probably loving what they're seeing on bets the last little bit because they make money on every single transaction. Let's go on to the desk and take care of some business with Brendo.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. Well, we took 3 cents on GBTC.
It's interesting how it doesn't follow.
I know. It's
fresh highs on.
I know. It's still ripping. I'm watching it. So that's why I'm trying to hold on to this. And it's just not moving. So I don't know. Damn you, Jeff Mendel. Let's hope that Grayscale can get this product going a little bit here to the upside. We'll hold on to it. We only got out of like 20% there. Look, see, now it's right back. It's still breaking. It's 43.5 right now and going higher. So we'll watch out for that one. But of course, you know, we would be remiss not to hit this one more time. It's the same dollar though. I'm just not taking it. Let's see if NVIDIA holds into the close. Look, we're him on Apple, man. I mean, Apple today, honestly, dip buy, dip buy, dip buy. You know, feeling like Ichiro here, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. So, I mean, that's going to be a good trade there, holding fort right now for Apple. And we just got in last piece out. So right now, I think we have about 10%, maybe a little bit less than that on Apple, as I'm happy as, you know what, on that one. I feel like we'll just get some out of Palantir right now. On the upside of that one, Riot, Coinbase. I know Coinbase I'm going to throw up because again, yesterday we had a $9 winner to the downside and I took $3, and then today we have all over 180, and it's just it's embarrassing because if I just rewind the clock to right here at 9:40 or so, right when it was here, I had it up and it was 180 and it was bouncing around and I was like, do I want to take it? I looked at my sticky note and it was like, hey, I wrote down Coinbase long 180. You know, didn't do anything about it. And it just next time I canceled it, I went back to it and it was up $3. So, okay, is what it is. I might just get out of this GBTC, guys. I mean, and you know what? If it starts to follow it and somehow it rips up and I'm screwed and I'm mad because, you know, it doesn't follow, then fine. But like right now, I'm watching Bitcoin continuing to go up and it's just not going. I mean, here it is breaking right now, up to 43.4. Like I was talking about this on this break, it's still going higher. It's still going higher and higher. All these ticks higher. You know, there it goes. There it goes. So hopefully we can continue this move to the high side and GBTC will do something. But for right now I'm under by a penny. So I don't know. Not moving the same way I tried. I should have just said forget about it and go right over to Mara and buy the crap out of that.
It's slowing down as well.
But yeah, it's slowing down. But I mean, if I would have just, that's PK. Hold on a second. Yeah, so I think we have been in this for a little bit. Yeah, we wouldn't have got, it only went up about 30 cents probably since we've been buying it. So, and now it's come back in. Anyways, all right.
The best longs were under 31 was the better long, I think, on Mara. The over 31 play is running into, we saw Bitcoin there is kind of pulling a little bit back off the highs, but I just got into Mara right here at 19.5. And the high of the day is at 30. So if it breaks the high of the day, great. It's just another one of these slow stair step to the upside when the market's not doing anything. Like this is like the NASDAQ outside of that big move right before we came on, we were sort of sitting at the high of the day, and then there was that flush into the low. Then there was a retracement off the bottom. Outside of that, this market's not doing a heck of a lot. So you do want to be in the names that are moving. So taking a shot at Riot or Mara or Coinbase or GBTC, it is the right thing to do if you're going to overtrade, or if you're going to trade a lot in the afternoon. Then you should trade the stocks that are moving that provide you with that opportunity. It looks like the last trade might have to come out here. The last long, at least I think it's going to be the last long on Mara. I'm just going to get out of Nikola, and I've canceled any notion on Roblox for today. So I gave it a shot. Like, if it was going to make that breakout, that 47 level, it looked like it was going to get there, and it just pulled back like 15 cents. So with only 7 minutes to go till the imbalances come out, I think it's safe to say Roblox isn't making the break today. But that just means it's coiling up for a potential move tomorrow. I'm hoping it doesn't gap above this level. That can be frustrating because you want to be able to trade the key price level. But sometimes it happens. I'd still look for longs if it's gapping above, but it's much better if you can actually get the breakout, because then you get the best price when you actually take the breakout trade.
So how do here's what my daughter's doing right now. She's, I don't know, how do it was just playing 2 seconds ago. Hold on, let me just bring this down right here and show you guys all.
Oh, it's a video.
Yeah, it's a video. That's the fun part about it. See, look at this. So you get on these little, it's a treadmill. So there's little lines marked there. It's a laser right there. So she's trying to keep this foot on that laser right there. Lasers. Shout out.
So like basically it's like a kind of like.
It's right there. Oh, there. I mean, this,
there it is.
Yeah, you can see here. So she's there training here.
That's really cool.
This guy looks like Mitch Marner. It's not, but anyways, there it is right there. So shout out. This is where all my money goes. So FYI on that. Okay, so let's continue. All right. Honestly, guys, I wish I had more to talk about with a GBTC, but I don't. It's not going anywhere, and I hope it does. Bitcoin right now is absolutely ripping, so let's go, man. Shout out to Hydration Nation and shout out to everybody out there, because John Travolta's like, huh? You're not long crypto? What? Most of you obviously will be long crypto, so it's been a very, very good day, and it's a very, very good day as well for members of altcoin community as well, with Solana up again today, up to 110 right now. Our boy Cardano up to 63 and change. I actually think I could even refresh this to get a better updated prices, and then this happened, so okay, that's cool. But anyways, here we go right now. Cardano, yeah, 63 and a half, Solana 109.99, Ethereum. Interesting. It's all been about Bitcoin, but Ethereum right now nicely done as well. 7% over the last 7 days. You might want to look at the difference, the relationship between Bitcoin and, of course, and Ethereum. I feel like you might want to rotate into Ether if you feel like there's a bump happening there and not in BTC, but BTC still rocking. There we go. We get a 43, as you can see some more outs. We're just trying to layer some of these outs. Still believe in this move to happen to the upside. So let's see if it gets going right now. And again, good outs on Apple. Nvidia's trying to come back in, so ho-hum on that one. And then that's about it for me right now, as we only have 14 minutes. Join me soon for the market recap show. Raider Trader will be on about 4:15. I'll take it from there, or into that, and then we'll should have some fun as we welcome him back to the show. And we will always have great guests. We'll see what's up with Raider Trader today. He has big shoes to fill.
Yeah, absolutely, which I think he'll be absolutely fine. Fun guy, different perspective for sure. He usually has some calls to make on the SPY, which is always interesting to hear. We got 3 minutes till the imbalances come in. Affirm I was considering whether I still wanted to take it, and then ended up doing it on Affirm. It was really tight, like, okay, I don't have to, but I wanted it to break down that quarter. It just took the quarters, and I grabbed 24 short. It'll be a really tight stop. Like, I'm not giving this to the 50s or VWAP. I'm actually going to stop this out at 51.40. Part of that's because it's 347. The imbalances are about to come out there. I'm just going to get on the offer of SoFi. At this point, like, they got 33s and 34s long off the 30 level. It got as high as 39, but now it can't seem to bust 37. So I'm getting out of that one, and I'm on the bid to cover Nikola, the penny stock, there as well. I'm kind of scalping in and out of Mara, still off that 31 level. And that one I'll have a tight stop underneath 31 going into the imbalances. I don't see putting anything new on. If you guys are still watching some of the BTC names, like, there's still, like, Bitcoin's still making highs. That's why I want to play the long until it turns. What's crazy is I can't wait till we get crypto, because, like, Mara is slowing down. You've been talking about GBTC. And I look over at my 1 minute chart and we're still grinding higher on Bitcoin. So if you were just doing that, like it can't have lost going in that long. Like it's been just trending upside on the 1-minute chart. You can't lose going long pretty much every price.
We did get some more 43s out there on GBTC, but it's still an amazing 3 cents in the money, and it's unbelievable that's not going as Bitcoin 43.6 right now and still making new highs. All right, just a couple more minutes until the imbalances. I did put a bid on Palantir, but missed it at 47. Hopefully that will come back in again. And let's just check in on Apple as it's trying to break lower. So we are pennies away now from getting stopped out of the last piece, and that is pretty darn good right now, as that was well traded. Apple, again, going to be my third best name today, behind actually, well, Snapchat. So the thing is, Snapchat, Neo, and Apple are all pretty much identical trades net-wise for me today. And look, it's just Neo was one trade. We actually have a bid there and a bid there. So we actually had this twice going to the upside. This was pretty much my number one trade. Come on. Okay, here we go. Let's go, GBTC. Let's go. Here we go. Hopefully this can... there was no... Again, the spread was like 5 cents, so I was like, oh, maybe we'll hit 45s. But it doesn't, and 42 comes right back in. This is part of the problem, and you know, you've seen me talk to Jeff about this all the time, and that is like, it's hard to sometimes get fills and to watch where these stocks go, because they can be pretty manipulated back and forth here on the Grayscale product. Like, there's no reason why this should not be way up right now. If it's following Bitcoin, it should be up. So making me a little bit nervous. Maybe we just cash it all out right now with only 30 seconds to go. Let's see what happens here into the close with all of these stocks. My out for NVIDIA is the high of the day right there, 495. I know we've been there since the morning, but 495. Let's see if we can get that on NVIDIA in just a couple of seconds. The imbalances will come out, and we'll make some dreams come true with that.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to make a bold prediction that the number one in terms of size on the imbalance is going to be bets. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's a 1 cent stock, so we can have millions. This morning, it was like 10 million, I think, the total imbalance, and the stock's done, I don't know, 3 billion shares, setting the record. I have only one trade on. I just punched out of Mara when it broke to 31. Looks like TLT, so I'm wrong. I would have lost. TLT is the top on the imbalance locator, 2.5 million to the sell side there. TD Bank, 1.3 million to sell. Nothing really else. Okay, there we go. Apple, 750,000 to the sell side. Intel, 780,000 to buy. Don't really see anything else that we care about. Marvell, small sell. Lyft, AMD, 550,000 sell. But most of these are, it looks like the bigger names are to the sell side, but they're not gigantic, although it's 2.9 billion to sell. We just got from Adara, which was a little bit surprising looking at that list. TLT topping the list of the sell imbalances. As I said, you know, I only got into this in Affirm. I was almost not going to take this trade because it was getting late on in the day. But with limited time for it to work, we're going to scalp some out at 1-to-1. If it falls lower, I'll just start moving the trailing stop. So my stop was going to be 51.40 on a quarter entry. So once it goes 15 cents in the money, take some out. If it breaks 51, I'd shoot for about 50.80s to the downside. With 8 minutes to go here to the end of the day, all you're trying to do is make sure that you don't want to lose anything you have, but don't make any like ridiculous trades. Like thinking that a firm is going to get to the low of the day is ridiculous and not take anything out. You've got to make sure you're taking some profit. Scalp where you can, and try not to overtrade in this end of the day. What I would have liked to have seen would have been something that was trading at the low or the high that you could work an imbalance trade off of. Because the market were at the lows, it would have been good if there was a, like a Microsoft or something that was at the low of the day that's set up for a bounce play at 355. Unfortunately, nothing really set up for that.
All right, yeah, no, agreed. We got out, man. We got out at 39s and 40s on GBTC. I'll show that in a minute. But right now we're looking at, I don't even need to know these imbalances. We already had it, 2 billion. It's a monster number to sell. So, but anyways, we'll wait on that. And NVIDIA just again hopping up to that dollar in the money. I was waiting. Maybe we should just get out. Like that just went to 84s. That up here. I just want to see it break. I want to hold this until 350. Maybe it will break 355. Maybe it will break higher, and we'll be able to get something up and around here. But no, the more and more I look at it, I don't know, being a little bit greedy here. It doesn't look like the imbalances will come the right way for that. If it came 2 billion to buy, then I could easily see us up somewhere around here. Maybe we are getting greedy. Let's go to 494.50 on NVIDIA. So let's do that. I was at 494.80. So 494.48, something like that. Let's sit there and see see if we can get it now, and we'll judge it from there on NVDA, see if that can play. Palantir, we get that fill, and again, like you want to talk about making some money, that's what we did here on PLTR today. I mean, again, like short pop, short there, same levels, hit it and quit it. Nicely done to the downside there for our friend Palantir. I hate to short it, but you know what? We didn't really kill the stock at all today. 1765 down to 1750. We have the top and the bottom there. So we got out numerous times at the low of the day. So again, if anything, we're just propping up the low. So that will be good. Let's see if that can come into play one more time. And here comes NVIDIA. Right now, $1 in the money, trying to break through 494. If it does get that, we're sitting at 494.50 to finish what's been a pretty great day. Thank you so much for watching. Let's see if we can't make magic happen tomorrow. And tomorrow is no, it's almost Thursday. Okay, so it's confusing all this.
I've been messing up the days all week. But Chet, Bros just broke the high of the day and continued higher. So shout out to all the bros that were involved in that name. Strong move. I added to the list, to the iPad here, just to be on watch. Anything breaking the highs when the market's not doing anything, you look for continuation. I was just asked in the chat my thoughts on Neo swing. So I'll say the same thing I said last time. I took a swing trade that set up something like this on SoFi and Rivian, and I like those infinitely better than in Neo. I'm overstating that, but it's just true. Neo is now closing at the 200 period. I would have liked to see it close above the 200, breaking out at 950, that you could give back to $8. And then you're looking to capture, some profit at 1-to-1 here at 11, and then if it gets up to like $15, like that would, to me, that's the trade. I like things that are showing me a little bit more strength, and then you get into it off of that strength. So good stop off the $8 level. It's been a good long today. It's actually down 2% today, so it won't be making that breakout just yet. But again, that's just what I'm looking at. Bros, which I mentioned just like a few seconds ago, as we get to 355, up 3%. It was on the imbalances that it made the break of the high of the day. I didn't see it on the imbalance locator, but I'm going to assume that it was probably a buy imbalance, and then it just broke the high of the day on said imbalance. You're going to have to get out of a firm. It gave that 1-to-1 and then came right back in, and I've just moved my stop to 30. So instead of risking 15 cents, we'll now risk like 6 or 7 on a firm and try to hold it back into this local bottom. I still like this 52 level. Maybe we get a chance to trade it tomorrow on Thursday. Second last trading day of the year. And it's been an absolutely ridiculous year. As bad as it was in 2023 for the overall market, I'd almost venture to say it was way better. The resiliency in this market, there's not even a word for it. Like, it was one of the best bull runs. Like, you could just buy every single dip on the Qs, and you were laughing pretty much all year. So let's look for some continuation next year. We got a couple of days left to trade these markets, and they've been a heck of a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah, again, thank you. I got to go over to the big desk very, very soon. But hey, look what we just did. We'll finish the day, man. We'll raise up the cup today. It's going to be a big day. We're really, really happy for it. Another positive green day, and it was a good one. NVIDIA all the way up. We just took it out at 80 there. I don't know. I lost interest in it. But again, there to there. Losing interest, I'll lose interest in that all day if that's the case. And then Apple, again, 3 times the charm, once, twice, thrice, all the way done up there, out. Again, you've seen me made all these trades. Palantir, again, out right there, and now we're flat on Palantir, and we have nothing left. So there it is, man. It's going to be a good day today. That is for sure. But I have over 200 fills, so it's definitely a busy day. And today we actually have some red names on board, man, including Amazon, short there until we lost on that last piece. These aren't hugely red names. GBTC, but we're not really red on this. Just we didn't really make anything on it. That's back and forth there. Neo's obviously going to be a positive one for us today. We actually tried. Here's a trade that we didn't talk about because it was during the midday. PayPal. I tried PayPal short in here, by the way. Short was right late, but not right when I had it. We were trying to go short under VWAP until it eventually broke. So that's another negative name for us there today with that. So, hey, man, all is well. I'm going to hop over. Good show again. Neil and I will be back in there tomorrow. Neil's a day older today, so that's good. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. It's always good to spend time with family, but I had a great birthday, and I was spoiled by the girls, my wife and daughter. But I want to thank you for saying PayPal, because remember we were just talking about Roblox and 47? Yep. Square and 80.
Oh man, the stocks are so strong.
So, I mean, Square and the 80, and I hate to do this, but let's be real. Sometimes you are setting up, you can do some of your prep work early. And it's really easy to look at a chart like this and say, well, do you think that Square is at a key price level? I don't know. I think it's at a key price level. You get a local breakout of 80 that gets to this, 81.5 on the daily, is that top from August. So this is a stock which can take out this high tomorrow. You can get, I'm always happy when you can get like a 1 or 2% move. So if you get $1.50 on that, it's almost a 2% move. You look for that dollar breakout trade tomorrow on Square. And then if it takes out 81.5 or 82, you've all of a sudden got the air up there, not the movie, just a, what is it, like a blue sky setup. That's what Sharif says. A blue sky setup, which simply means you're running out of overhead resistance. What a crazy run this has made. A double up. Like this stock was at $38 at the end of October. Block. It's now at 80, well, almost $80. I'm just going to bid out of a firm. Looks like the last little bit we're only going to get 2 cents on, but is what it is. It was worth the trade. I almost didn't make that one because it was getting a bit late on in the day, but I think it's a good one. I think this is it's not going to be the top of the list, but this and Roblox, in terms of potential breakouts in the last couple of days of trade, they're going to sit out there. And the other way to play this is I can see all the reason in the world people want to try scalping some shorts. Just keep in mind that sometimes it's absolute woodshedding when you fight the trend. And this has been a clean trend to set upside. Less than 1 minute to go. I think we're going to have, I don't know, Adara's at the desk still, so I don't know if she's going to come over and ring the bell here. But it's been a wild one. It is hump day. I keep having to check to make sure that it is a Wednesday. The entire week feels weird when you have a day off in the market. And we do have Raider Trader making his return. I don't know if you're still in the chat. Looking forward to you once again. And I hope you have a fun time doing it with Sean up there in about 20 seconds. The market is making a late surge toward the high of the day there, which is fitting because Adara is in the all green. So we want to make sure we close at the high of the day or close enough to it, which the market wants to do in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. And oh, so close. I was just checking the cues there. Looks like the Q is about 20 cents from the high. The NASDAQ future is about 10 handles from the high of the day there. The ES got right into the high of the day and is still almost challenging it now, up 0.2, right to the high of the day on the ES. So you had a late surge there at the end of the day, which was interesting because it was a sell imbalance, a 3 billion sell imbalance that reversed to the upside. Wild day of trading. You had Apple's reversal on news. That's worth going over. You had the crypto madness, which has just been a continuation trade. Everyone loving the crypto space and the altcoins, your Mars of the world, your Riots of the world, your Coinbase of the world. As always, want to give a shout out to Fabian and Ramin on the ones and twos, doing a fantastic job, as they do every single day. Shout out to Adara and Sharif on the midday, and a special thank you to Alfred coming back through, talking some value investing. 2 days of value investing from Alfred, Sharif's good friend, so we're happy to have him. Big thank you. You know exactly what's happening next. The market's still pressing the highs, and it's time to get onto the desk. We've got the market recap show. We got Sean at the desk, joined by Raider Trader as the guest of the day.
Man, I hope Raider Trader delivers here. We've had no more hyped guest than Raider Trader coming through today. I'm excited to have reached out to him, and thank you so much for him coming through. Trust me, it will be good. Okay, here we go, man. What a way to end the day, man. NVIDIA, Moon, Apple, let's go. We were long. Santa Claus rally, you could see there. We intact, baby. The Santa Claus rally continues up today, and we get that great news from Apple. Apple today, again, you know, a pause on that injunction. Let's see what happens. I want to first of all say a big shout out to everybody that's here with me. You're now rocking with the best. This is Traders Stay Late. It's now 4 o'clock. Let's go over some of these sectors. I'm a little bit hyped up. We had some great runs there today. We had some great trades. Tesla was a banger off the open. Kind of wish we would have just taken a vacation at about 10 o'clock when that trade was over. But there was still a lot of good names there. And we made a little bit of money into the close. So that was good. We didn't finish at our highest spot. I was showing you guys some back and forth trades there today. But we finished pretty close to the highest level of the day for ourselves. Hey, look, today, USO, what's up with that? Oil dropping back in. One of the only red sectors. today? USO, right? Oil. XLE, USO. Downside, again, worries today, guys, a lot of worries about the Red Sea, right? We've had some of the Houthi, I think, attacks in the Red Sea. Not great. The US does not want to get involved with Iran. Right? So that's the thing. Hopefully that can settle down and we'll see some pressures back in. Normally, obviously, as you get some pressure in the Red Sea, that would cause a supply issue, right? Demand's not really changing. So I'm surprised a little bit today with some of that talk that USO was actually down that 2%. That's a sector to look at. Anyways, that's what's happening right now in oil prices. A little bit of a surprise. TLT continues to work to the upside, man. The Treasury, look at this. The number, it's not even a sector. We just have it up here to watch out, right? A lot of people sitting on cash, maybe park their money into a T-bond or a T-bill, sorry, or into a bond, something like that, some kind of fixed income. You could see it's really, really worked out over the last little while as rates, of course, fluctuating daily. That's the TLT. I really like the IBB. Oh, check out this. So I actually have a new feature here. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Look at this. Watch this. So I'm going to go to configure, and I've set this all up. So if you want it, you know, maybe I'll give it to you. You can ask Michael Noss for this setup as well. But look at this. I go to symbol lists, and in here, I have all of the sectors, right? I'm probably missing some I did in the middle of the day. There's healthcare. So if I just say okay to that, let's just get off of it, push it back, push okay, right? Push okay again. All of a sudden, the leaders in the XLV will show up right here. So you could see today Moderna up 3.49%. So let's do that again. Watch this. Configure, right? And we're going to go to symbol lists. Hey, let's see what's going on with oil today. Hopefully I have it. There it is, XLE. Now you can put different ones in here. There's XLE. Push OK, push OK again. And there you go, Marathon. Down 1.4%, or sorry, M-Piece Marathon right there, two marathons. Petroleum and oil right there, both down. Schlumberger, Halliburton, Valero. So this really lets us see all the names that are potentially dragging said indexes down, right? Let's do that one more time and see what was leading the way in the XLK, right? Let's have a quick look to see what was going on in NASDAQ land as technology leads the way. There it is right there. So we get rid of XLE. Now let's see what the names were in this. Uh-oh, we knew that. It's AMD up 1.85% today, followed by Intel, Cisco. Cisco's an interesting name. We did have a drip down in Cisco on earnings. Might be something to look out for it. All right, who are the big losers? Fortinet and maybe, well, FFIV. Let's find out. I thought that was CrowdStrike. I was wondering about PanW as we go ahead and see what the losers are there in the technology sector. But there's the IBB. There's not going to be really, this is biotech, so Moderna is going to be in this as well. I really like healthcare and biotech moving forward. I think there's a lot of potential in this space. We talked about it. I'm getting older. We're all getting a little bit older. I like the space. As rates start to flip, you know, back into the positive side for retail and for smaller businesses, a lot of those biotech. So let's go with that one as that's coming through as well. SPX, right, the SPY, we're talking about that hitting all-time highs. Now, you know, it depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at the cash markets or if you are looking at an ETF like the SPY, I actually see the SPY highs in and around here, 478.75. So that's kind of like the 52-week high as we push it, 476, 477. So we're right there right now. Congratulations, anybody that withheld any kind of these dips. We had a monster dip, and not monster, it was down 10% there in, whoa, oh, I had a heart attack there. I thought I dropped this mic. Woo, and then it was going to drop my water. But you know what? Who's over there? Let's go with Hydration Nation. Too much pressure. Raider Trader coming. I'm going to move this screen so I can see what he's talking about when he's logged in right now. But there's Spider ETF to the upside. You know what's interesting to me? KRE. I was looking at this again. Of course, these are the regionals, right? Can I do like this and see what's in it? No, I'm going to put, I don't think I have KRE. But we know what's in there. The regional banks, again, bouncing off of, look what that is. Looky, looky. It's the 200 period on the daily, right? So this is a very, very key level. If you are along the regional banks, I'm not saying to lighten up, but there could be something here. They're bumping it up. We've seen the banks, JP Morgan up to 168. Financials really, really rocking. And look at the KRE. Huge move to the downside. We, of course, got absolutely destroyed when we were down into here talking about PacWest and First Republic, Western Alliance, when we had Silicon Valley Bank absolutely fall on their face, and then of course rescued. So no, rescued. I mean, obviously the shares weren't rescued, as that was bankrupt. Right down there, $36, and we retouched that in October. So again, KRE, nicely done. And if you're looking at other banks, there's another bank ETF. I was telling Sharifa today, it's X. It's not XBC, but there is an X one there, shares that I like that aren't so heavily weighted. But look at XLF, heavily weighted in JP Morgan and some of the major names. So if you're on those banks, look at this move upside, right? Don't worry about picking a bank. You can just pick this ETF. That is XLF, as that continues to fly high as well. Let's just do a quick little roll call. See who's here. All right, right now, who's in the building right now? I want to thank everybody for watching. I mean, this is a holiday week, right? And there's not even, we had maybe 5 traders in today, maybe a little bit more on the floor. No Obi, no Max, no, I don't know, 5 or 6 guys in. And right now we have 2,500 watching. So I want to say thank you so much to you guys. Let's do a roll call, man. Where else are you going to get this? What's up to Crazy Stitch Lady, man? Thank you for all your positivity on the chat for me. It means a lot. What's up to the Salty Bear? Yo, what's up, Mr. Kelsey? Chris J is here as well. Paulie D is in the building. Jim Tan Laundry? I might be right. What's up to Paulie D right there? I know it's from D's fames. What's up to Trey Only, Charles, Mr. Duckets, James Dell, Mole Farr is here, Richie Lee is here, Michael Lloyd, and I want to say a shout out to everybody who's out there raising a family, man. That's what it's all about. And I just only talk about this because my wife's sending more videos of my daughter. I'm so proud of everybody. And then my son, also Baxter, is in funding round right now. He's 22, actually he's 21, turning 22, and he's in university, been picked up by some VCs, and I'm super proud of him. I cannot wait to talk about his business once I can do that live here on the show. I mean, I'll do whatever I want, but I want to wait to see on that one. But I'm very, very proud of everything everybody's doing. My son just won chess as well, so shout out to him. His very first time entering a chess league. He took that down, going 11-4. I'm very, very proud of all of this, and honestly, this is why I do this job. Like, when we're looking for an after show host, I'll do it. The podcast, we're going to be, I came in on the day off to film the pod. By the way, I hope everybody likes the podcast. I thought that was a good one, our last one. We're going to be, it's our best one so far, he says. Let's go. Thank you so much for that. I mean, you know what? The funny thing is, I was driving in and I was like, the podcast, I know what I'm going to talk about, but I always worry about like throwing in these little clips and stuff like that. That's what makes it fun for me. You know, not just talking about, oh, we could sit here and talk about, oh, AMD's going up. I love the chip names, this and that. Sometimes it's about talking and being real. And that's what I'm trying to be with you guys. Trading is extremely difficult, okay? Well, I'm sitting here 22 years, okay? I've seen thousands of traders come through and maybe a couple hundred at most make it. I feel like 10% maybe on a prop floor is successful. Number may be lower, but in the history of trading, just ask ChatGPT. What percent of day traders are successful? Now, obviously, you're going to get back and forth. There's a lot of education out there, but right now you're rocking with the best, and it's Trader TV Live. Join me, Neil, Sharif, Adara every single day, live right now. And we wouldn't be able to do it without those two over there. So a big shout out to both Fabian and Ramina as we just keep on going. And of course, Miss Cat is back in the building as well. What's up to BJC and everybody right here? Yeah, I was interviewed by Be the Trader. You guys might know who that guy is. Be the Trader. You can go find, he interviewed me as well. And Benzinga Pro. We have an interview with them. But you know what? Benzinga Pro, Trader TV Live, you know. Anyways, I didn't say which one was which. Shout out to Benzinga, who is also, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk too negatively. I'm not at all. Benzinga Pro sponsoring Trader TV Live. And I use the Benzinga Pro platform, so you're not going to miss anything. It's just, it's too bad that we don't have earnings right now because we'd be going over those as they start to hit. But hey, we went over some sectors. We went over Sector Watch. I don't know, what else you guys want to look at here? The XRT is the retail ETF. Nice move again. And look at some of these things on the daily chart. A lot of these names getting extended, right? So a lot of extension happening. And look at GLD, man. Gold just keeps on breaking highs. There it is right now, taking it out. Celebrate, man. Anybody that's into gold, big time trading happening right now. But look at the banks. I'm under capitalized on some of these banks. Look at JP Morgan top to bottom, everybody. 140, 134. How many red candles? I always screw this up. I never know how to zoom back and forth on this. You know what? Maybe if I maximize this, it'll be a little bit easier. How many red? There we go. How many red candles do we even see here since the 27th? I mean, 1, 2. I'm not going to count all that. 3, 4. So maybe 4 red candles in 2 months. You know, this name continues to work. Look at Wells Fargo. You know what? I'm not going to hate the player or the game in this situation. But Wells Fargo was down here at $39. We know this is a big holding for Warren and company. Look at this continue to go up. You know another name that we all could have bought? The most heavily owned bank in Berkshire was Bank of America. It came right into 26, 27, gave you all the opportunities to buy it down here. Pop goes the weasel back up to the upside for BAC. All right, quick little look to see if anything's moving here in the aftermarket. And again, we just run this. This is from Trade Ideas, and these are called races. They're 2-minute races. You know what? I'm going to actually extend these races a little bit longer, but right now I'm not really seeing anything moving in the after hours, so probably a little bit of slowness happening. One name that I know everyone wants to look at is BETS. This is, again, it's up to 1.5 cents, so that was a nice mover today. Over 2 billion shares on BETS. Ooh, look at this. I'm in the top corner now. I like. So that's BETS today. Nice move as that gets crushed. The name that I'm really excited about, we've been buying some dips, but again, still undercapitalized, is going to be underexposed, not undercapitalized, is going to be Roblox right now. Nice move. Look at how juicy this one looks. I bet you my guy there, Raider Trader, probably. My kids love Roblox. This guy's a little younger. Although, you know what? I know I probably look a little bit younger than Raider Trader, but I guarantee you he's younger. He looks really young. So, but anyway, shout out to this guy. The reason why we have him back on is this show is about real, right? Like, where's that book? It's over there. But we have Brian Shannon, 300,000 followers, you know, has authored 2 books. J.C. Peretz has been on many different podcasts and does his own as well. Well known in NYSE. Crypto Birdman, Adrian Zadunchuk, over 900,000 followers on crypto, right? Huge guy, 30 under 30. Adrian Zadunchuk been on the show. Tomorrow, Kevin O'Leary back. He's going to be on the main show though, Ramin. Should probably be on this show though. He'll be back there. We'll talk about his year in review and whatnot. I'm going to ask him about crypto. Find out about that. I want to know if Andrew trades crypto as well. Let me know when Raider Trader is ready and we will call on him. Roblox going to be, you know, this is a new segment we could come up with. I have a few interesting new segments. I want to do like a dad joke one. I think that would be pretty funny. And then what about this right here at $47? Tomorrow's trade today. That's what we're going to be talking about moving forward. Roblox is tomorrow's trade. Come over to the screen quickly if you can, Fabian, 1 second. It's darkness. We've got darkness on the screen. Right there. Okay, look at this, $47. If we breaker on this one, all I want to do, all I want for Christmas is you. Did you know that Mariah Carey broke the single-day Spotify streaming record for All I Want for Christmas? That she's just bank. You want to talk about someone that's making a lot of money? Hold on a second. Just got to take a drink. Hydration Nation. Look, what we're looking for on Roblox tomorrow, all I want for Christmas is a Roblox upgrade. If someone comes tomorrow with some good stats and Roblox gets upgraded and we take down this 47, we mooning, baby. I like Roblox right there to come in for tomorrow. All right. Oh, here we go. Next topic. We just forgot to switch this. S&P all-time highs, the Santa Claus rally. Look, I'm only really concerned with it. We talked about the NASDAQ average Santa Claus rally return, 2.7% over the last 5 trading days. Look what's happening right now. QQQ. Let's go over to that and look at the NASDAQ. Nice upside move. And look, man, we're breaking highs. So you know it's a good day. The Santa Claus rally continues as the NASDAQ up 0.2 so far. The average move in the last 5 days on the S&P 500 is 1.7%, 2.7% for the triple Qs. Look, man, I'm really super excited. I see what you're getting loaded up there, Andrew. We're going to talk about CME. I think there are going to be some rate cuts next year. And guess what? It's not even a Fed pivot, man. The Fed told us what they're doing, and now they've hit that 2%. Not really on inflation, but we're coming back into that. I'm going to talk to Andrew all about that. Let me know when we are ready to call on Andrew right now. But He's ready. All right, it's the debut of a new guest. He's on the recap show. This is prime time for you, Andrew. Get ready. It's Trader Talk. Let's go.
Sean!
Okay. I did not see this coming. Now we're in a suit. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Andrew, I forgot to tell you something, my guy. You cannot look better than me, or else there could be a problem. So I know you're in
the air, Sean. Hands are in the air.
I like that. Hands are in the air like we don't care. What do you got? What are you wearing on those over the head headphones there? Why don't you?
These are just some Razer headphones I picked up. The last ones I threw across the room.
I like that.
But we got replacements. So.
Did you throw it across the room due to a trade?
Unfortunately, yes. And it turns out headphones don't survive brick walls very well. So.
I like that tie there. That's really nice.
Thank you. Yep,
you're looking really sharp, man. You got everything. Got the vest on under there. What are you going to a wedding? What's going on?
I got the three-piece. I had some. I thought it was time to grow up. I was, just rocking the tie, the bow tie, and the dress shirt. But it was getting to the age where I decided, yep, got to grow up. It's not common anymore.
Sweet man. Well, I'm glad to have you back. Look, man, I'm all about energy, and I know you have that. And then honestly, it's about talking to the people. And I think you and I, big social media presence, and I think it's just about trading for real, right? It's like putting on positions and actually making an income trading, and I think that that's really the most important thing. Do you want to spend maybe a minute? I don't want to go too long. Just give a little bit of background about yourself, maybe how you got started into trading and what you're up to these days before we talk more about action.
Yeah, for sure. So I just started getting into trading. I was really an academic kid growing up, straight A student. Not that that's a flex. High school is pretty easy for a lot of people. Very good parents. They bought me into they taught me to do well in school. And I always wanted to be a doctor, so I thought. And then eventually I found myself at home, not wanting to watch doctor YouTube videos or anything. So I kind of had a pivot in my life of where I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore.
All right.
And so I met a few individuals from the West Coast, and they have been helping me ever since. They offered to put me under their wing and raise me in a professional environment when I was very young. I used to go with them every summer, go out there and learn from them the entire summer and then come back. So that's where I am now, doing that stuff remotely with them, and they continue to help me out. You've heard of them probably. They've made a funny few donations before just to make fun of me, but yeah. So their names are Zach and Wes, and they've taught me a lot, and I give all credit to my knowledge today to them. So.
All right, cool. Thanks for that. I just want to give everyone a little bit of a background there. I think it's very, very important that we do that. Okay, so you're very chilled out right now. You're very laid back and relaxed. Do you want to talk about a trade? Did you have any trades on today, or is this sort of a quiet period right now? I feel like volume is kind of there, but we're just kind of drifting right now. For me, it's a little less on the share size, but I still think there's opportunities. What were you looking at today?
So, Sean, if you want to look at my screen here, I got
I do.
The trust me bro is a famous saying that we happened to say last October for you veterans in this chat room. The trust me bro was talking about the October pivot. This was something I came on multiple times, and I even gave a date to Tuesday. Unfortunately, that was the technical bottom, not the liquidation bottom. So today we're going to talk about, just briefly, I know a lot of traders, they get, what is this? I don't like line charts. I like candlestick charts, but I'm going to show you both. And I'm going to show you why today I'm going to call what I believe to be the top of the markets coming very soon. Now, first, yep. This is going to be a trust me, bro, Sean. I come on here and I do it big time. So I first want to look at a few data. So right now, the Fed basis points, we're at around 5.34%. And based off these charts right here, if you can see these, around March, they're predicting 75% chance and 75% chance for May that we cut. Now, I would be a fool to think this is true. I think they're going to throw in a little bit of spice. And why do I think that? Well, this is going to be a trust me, bro, because I've studied this and I have guys that help me prepare for these things. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I think into February, the last 2 weeks of February, there's going to be a surprise liquidity event. Now, I don't know what this liquidity event is. The last liquidity event is the Silicon Valley Bank. So that was the last, if you want to refer to that as a liquidity event. There's going to be something that blows up. We don't care what. It could be crypto. It could be in the real estate market. It could be in the financial markets. It could be something, but what it's going to do is force the Feds to make a surprise emergency meeting cut. And I believe that this will happen the last 2 weeks of February. Now, me as a trader, I'm going to look to get in for my swing trades. Again, this is just my opinions after January 19th, because I believe the market makers will have the least resistance to the downside after all that money expires. So that's it. That's all I have to say as far as that. And there's a lot of data to back this.
So what was the date? What was the date that we're looking at?
So after January 19th, I believe that this is when I'm going to start positioning.
Okay.
But I believe in February, last 2 weeks of February, there's going to be a liquidity event somewhere in there in February, and that is going to cause around a 6 to 8% decline in the market. Paolo's calling.
Paolo's calling. He wanted to make sure.
We're ghosting him.
Hello, Jerome. Yeah, I'll deal with this kid. Don't worry. All right. So right there. No, just having fun. You know what, Andrew? Actually, me and you hadn't talked about this. I had no idea that you were calling this. But I actually on the show, surprisingly or not, I was saying mid-January, I felt like, and again, part of what we're talking about, thank you so much, that I thought there was going to be a little bit of a dump. So I've been raising some cash. I've been selling every day. It's like I sell and the stock goes up and I'm like, what am I doing? But you got to get into some cash. And I do like that play for sure. All right. Now, what are you holding? So again, I don't need to know all your positions or anything like that.
Oh,
is there something that is setting up for you into the new year, either on a short as an individual name or in a long that maybe we can swing into that January 19th? Is there something over the next couple weeks that our viewers could say, hey, this is something that Andrew's looking at. Let's see why he's doing it. Let's get maybe a call on something. I've been looking at oil. I'm a little bit uncertain about oil right now because of all the action, obviously, in the Middle East and whatnot. We talked about that. That's a little too volatile for me. But give me something that you're looking at.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of names that I'm looking at. One that I am is definitely lithium. This one's going to be really hot. No pun intended. Lithium batteries stay cool, so don't think they burn or anything. But as far as lithium, this is going to be a really good one. I think the EV space is going to do really well and catch a bid here into earlier this year. Now, this is going to be a development that's going to happen this year into the early year, and then later this year. Now that 2024, it's not the new year yet. But I believe lithium is going to get one. That is ticker LIT, and an additional one is LAC. Now, I think LIT is the better trade. It's just more broad-based, and so I like that one a little more. But LIT is going to be the name I'm looking at for the early part of this year. So that's kind of the longer-dated swing. Again, not a day trade, maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be. And then also, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this, but Roblox as well. Sean, I knew you were looking at that one.
I mean, you like Roblox for the long?
I love Roblox, yes.
Dude, like honestly, like my 11-year-old, my 9-year-old, every month, $15 comes off the credit card, just goes right into those Robux. And then we play some Brookhaven, we play all these different games, and Roblox continues to work. I love that break of 47. Is there anything maybe that you can add to that? I just think it's a nice top break. We had a beautiful bottom down there near $30, and we sort of saw the smiley face group all the way back up, bounced off that 250, and now it's smooth sailing. Give me something that I don't know about Roblox.
Yeah, so if you want to share my screen here, a little principle for you guys traders, if you're new or you're not, you should know this, that a lot of times there's this principle called what I call watering hole principle. So whenever you have a liquidity level, and in that case, it's the liquidity level from around right here. Wait, let me get my little zone here. So we have this zone right here. This zone right here has been tagged multiple times. And the reason I call it watering hole principle is the more times a zone is tagged,
right,
the more that liquidity or the water in that zone is drained. And so therefore, what do you notice when we come steaming back into this area? Well, you expect sellers, but what do you notice? There isn't a high amount of selling happening. And so what you can see here is that there is little to no action left in that, and they're forced to go to the next watering hole. So I believe that is going to be to the upside, and we'll at least get a bid up to 49, somewhere around there. So.
All right, well, if you don't trust Radar Trader on Roblox, trust me, bro. I like it as well. Okay, man. Look, you're looking dapper. Unfortunately, your time is up. We got to go. So it's only 10 minutes. I want to thank you. Andrew, where are you going? Promise me. No, it's not. What are you doing?
Oh, I was making my exit now. My bad.
Yeah, don't worry about it. All right. Who is this guy? No, but we're having a lot of fun. I want to thank you for coming on. Promise me you'll come back?
Oh, I'll come back. Sean, I will come crawling back. Miles, if I have to.
I like it, man. Enjoy New Year's Eve. I hope, I don't, people are asking if you're old enough to drink. I'm going to say you probably are. So shout out to you and everybody over there. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. And
Happy New Year's, guys.
We'll see you back in the new year. That's Radar Trader. Thank you, Andrew.
Peace, guys.
Peace. That's it. Here we go. Delivering again. I mean, I don't know. I think those are great names. I want to thank Andrew for bringing that to my attention about lithium. That LIT, I like it. That was a good one. Thank you for that. Oh, I forgot to mention where you can find him. Raider Trader. Just Google it. He's big on Instagram. I believe also on TikTok. And I think if you just rewind the back, we can put it on the, there it is right there, on X and on Instagram, the best places, and then that will take you everywhere. Just go on X, Raider Trader, I'm following him, so that's how you will know. But hey, let me see, what did you guys think in the chat? Did you like Andrew? It doesn't really matter, I did, so that's good enough. Right there, what's up to Evolve? What the hell? There it is right there, thank you so much, $500. It's a $500 super chat that I missed. There we go. Thank you so much to Evolving Finance right there. Does Raider, oh, I'll have to ask next week. I'll have to ask next week. Is he still on? I'll ask him. I'll ask him right now if he's still on. Does he have a girlfriend, wife, boyfriend? I'm not trying to discriminate. Whatever this dude has, if he's still on, right there, it's fine. Hey, look. Bring him up. Bring this kid on right now. You know, you're not going to super chat $5 bills and get away with this. Hey.
Whoa, Sean.
What?
Got me red-handed.
No, I mean, thank you so much. Someone asked the question, my guy. So here we go. You can plead the fifth. You know, we're Canadian here. We don't have the fifth. You know what I mean?
I do have a freedom of speech. And I will exercise that today. I do have a girlfriend, and her name is
good. I like
Stonk
that.
Queen. Stonk Queen. You can find her on Instagram. Kirsten. Her name is Kirsten, but she goes under the tag Stonk Queen. So this was.
What is this? Tinder?
It was stock market Tinder. Yes.
No, I mean, what are we doing right now? Like.
Oh no! I mean, Sean. So personally. Yep. Anyway, so I have a girlfriend.
That's great. Thank you, Raider Trader. Thank you so much for the super chats and with stuff like that. Yeah, you can come back daily, my guy. No, but thank you,
Sean, I'm gonna be on this till 8 p.m. So if you have any other, just drag me back. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Andrew. And again, thank you so much for everything, man. You definitely put a smile on my face today. So that's Raider Trader. Go find him on X. Go find him on Instagram. That's my guy right there. Thank you so much. And so much thanks for. Hey, here's Stonk Queen right here. I don't know. I think something's up with this. This is a little fishy to me. But there she or he is. What's up? Shout out. Look, man, it just means a lot to us that we share such a positive community. So once again, thank you so much. All right. We're running short on time, but we still got a little bit of time left. So let's go over to my Twitter handle and let's go over Sean's tweets because why not? Right there. Go check it out. Hey, Andrew, if you're still watching, man, you want some content? The best podcast has been released. Episode 6 right now. What's up, Neil? Here we go right now. Oh, by the way, we're also live on X. Is that true? Yeah, we're live stream on X. Okay, that's good. All right, here we go. I thought this was pretty interesting here. As tomorrow we've got on Kevin O'Leary, and I'm going to talk to him about cash flow. He always says, he goes, Sean, you got to say cash flow. So I'm going to say that to him tomorrow right now. But let's get this off my face just for a minute. I just want to talk about the largest companies ranked by revenue. So again, this doesn't necessarily mean you got a lot of cash on hand, but the more revenues you bring in this environment, probably the better it's going to be, right? We want to have companies that are making money, right? Especially if we are worried about these rate cuts and everything coming through. Let's go. Walmart, cash cow, let's go. It's retail. Notice this, a lot of retail. Berkshire, come on, that's not really a company, is it? Oh, I guess it is. Apple there, UNH, CVS, XOM, Shell. So again, a lot of these are going to be old hand companies besides Amazon, but you're going to see some new ones, Toyota Motors in there and Google. So I just want to talk about that. If you're looking for some investments and you're looking for large cash positions, Walmart, not bad if you don't have any retail exposure. And this is one that honestly, oh yeah, control, well, shout out to Ramin. Control plus. There it is. Or, shut up, Fabian. I know I can use the wheel there. I'm so bad. But look at this. 10 largest stocks in the S&P 500 contributed to 75% of the SP, right? So the thing is that don't we already know that? Like, sure, it's extended, but look what happened in 2020. It's the same thing, 59%. In 2019, it was 53% against 32, against 18, against 29, against negative 18, right? There's 24% versus 75. So sure, we are outsized to the upside. But for me, it's all the same stuff. It's like we trust these big companies, and that's why I want to talk about cash. Microsoft, Google, Apple, all these companies that are heavily weighted in the SPX, it's going to continue. Look at JP Morgan. These trends are not going anywhere. That's why my pick for the new year, stay the damn course, man. Keep dollar cost averaging in, wait for potential economic moves. I liked what Raider Trader was saying. I am on the same page. You guys know that. We've been talking about a dip in January. Let's wait. The 19th is the Fed rate. We'll see what happens, possibly moving down lower into the end of the month and into February. Look, thank you so much for everything today. We've already done a roll call, but you know what? It's my show. We'll do it again. All right, roll call time, and then we got to get out of here, and then I got to say what's up to my wife and all of that. Oh, shoot, where did I put the chat? Wow, first of all, the roll call is not complete without another one for this guy right here. Shout out to Raider Trader and everybody that he's working with, because that 500, man, that means a lot. Means a lot for sure. It just shows that, hey, you know what? Out there, there's money, there's realness. Thank you for supporting the show. We'll get a few new chairs around here and all that kind of stuff. But here we go. Raider Trader is right here. Shout out, what's up to my guy? Shout out to Raider Trader. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Bears vs. Bulls, the best moderator in the damn business. What's up, Lethargic? I hope I'm not that for you. What's up to Big Pay Dave? What's up? Trading P is in the building. For Profits here. The Salty Bear is in the building. Thank you so much to the Crazy Stitch Lady. Means a lot. What's up to D. Westermeyer? How the hell are you so amazing? Hey, this is why I'm doing this, man. I love doing this for everybody. We're also trying to get the likes and the push up. We want to grow the community. Only 440,000 subscribers. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Let's get going. Look, thank you so much for watching. It's definitely meant a lot to me today. Crypto, we'll talk about that tomorrow on the show. Bitcoin continues to rally. Some of those altcoins have been really, really huge again. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you to our guests today, man. We had Alfred on the midday show. I want to thank him for talking about value investing. I want to thank the finest dressed man on YouTube as well. Shout out to Andrew Rader. Thank you so much for wearing that. That was awesome. And thanks for the super chats as well. And thank you for some of those tips. I'm going to be looking at lithium now. I actually forgot about it. I'm not in it. So thank you for that one. Look, big show. It's not going to stop, man. Tomorrow's Thursday, followed by Friday. And guess what? As long as we're here, we're doing this damn show. Friday's podcast day. Tomorrow, the market recap. We're super excited. Thank you so much. I'm losing my damn voice right now. You know what? I got to get that Apple setting where it actually can track how many words you say. Then when I go home and fall asleep, my wife will understand why. Thank you so much for watching. I'm coming home. Shout out to everybody. I hope everyone's having a happy holiday. Have some rum and eggnog. Let's go. Tomorrow's a new day. Thank you for watching. I like that.